Get it? Got it. Bueno.
I need to be the best at everything.
Yeah, number one. Hustle from the start. Aim to be the best. No excuses, we go hard. Every single day we winning, 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 winning. Every single day we winning, 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 winning. Yeah, number one. Hustle from the start. Aim to be the best. No excuses, we go hard. Every single day we winning, 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 winning. Every single day we winning, 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 winning.
Get it? Got it. Bueno.
Yeah, number one. Yeah, number one. Yeah, number one. Hustle from the start. Aim to be the best. No excuses, we go hard. Every single day we winning, 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 winning.
Get it?
Every single day we winning, winning,
Got it.
winning, 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 winning.
Bueno.
Yes, yes, indeed. Get it, got it. Bueno, she is number one. And tune in this Friday for a special Saturday Night Shenanigan on Friday, where we get to welcome La Princesa Tiffany Nieves over to the Simply Reliable Studios. And she will be granting us peasants with her time. And so please tune in for that special. But that's neither here nor there. We are here. Welcome everyone to Simply Reliable Studios presents PWG All-Star Weekend from 2005, night one of a 2-night throwback watch along that we're doing. So I'll be joined soon by JJ and James Hebert. I stress Hebert because my God, people can't read and pronounce his name wrong all the time, but it happens. So, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to watch this. If you click the link in the description, you will see it on YouTube where you can watch it along with us. And, if you want to see what we're seeing, but again, don't go ahead of us. Let us call what we're seeing before people grant what is going on or say what is going on. To be honest, I never actually watched the show, so this is new to me. This is fresh eyes. I don't know the results of everything. I'm completely stayed spoiler free. I mean, obviously it's 20 years ago, so the results are out there. But yeah, I wasn't involved in PWG. Obviously, I know the wrestlers. I know who they became, and I know I followed some of them from the independent, so I do know of them, but I don't remember exactly all the results and everything. So please, please, please don't spoil and jump ahead of everything. So again, thank you for joining. I'm just waiting for the rest of everyone. I ran the Tiffany Nieves promo there. Please tune in, not turn in. Please tune in because it's going to be fun for the interview for Tiffany. Also, please, if you haven't subscribed to the Rage of Wrestling YouTube channel, please do so. I'm at 117, gaining subscribers every day, and I just need to get over that threshold, get to 200, so my wife can send me to New Orleans for an entire month and send me to WrestleMania, along with someone else from the Simply Reliable Studios. Don't know who it is, but it'll be fun for us to go over to New Orleans. Obviously, I'll be there for a month. They'll come see WrestleMania. They're not gonna be there for the whole month, but we get to hang out, do some in-person videos. And what's up, Safet? Good to see you. As JJ always says, and good to be seen. So yeah, if you haven't subscribed, please go over there. I already see 3 people in here. if you're not watching on the Simply Reliable Studio, or sorry, if you're not watching on the Rage of Wrestling YouTube channel, please go over there, show the support. And I know it sounds like I'm begging, but it's a lot of hard work doing the producing and everything. So it's like another job, like my wife said over here, because she sees how hard I work. It's like another job, and I put a lot of effort into it. So I'm just waiting for the other two to come in here, and then we'll do a watch along. But I am going to show some of the math.
I tried so hard. I couldn't get off the effing phone fast enough. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay.
I'm just showing them some of the matches that are going to happen here. I already asked them not to spoil it. I'm fresh eyes. I actually never saw this event, so this is like something new to me.
Right.
So I don't want people spoiling. But here's Super Dragon, who's the champ, against El Generico. So we all know who that is.
Hello, Sammy.
He no longer is around. I wonder what that guy, what happened to him. I think he's running some orphanage in Mexico or something. Maybe he'll come back and fight El Grande Americano. Who knows? He needs to come back and show
Oh my
them.
God. Yes. Yeah, actually, that's what I want to see now. Now you just booked my ultimate dream match. El Generico and El Grande Americano. Let's have it happen.
Yeah, let's bring him out of retirement for that. And then of course, Kevin Steen, who of course became Kevin Owens. So that is the three-way for the PWG title. And again, this is from 20 years ago. Please, let's not bring up everything that happened and spoil it. But here's another one. AJ Styles versus
Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe. Very young guys at this time, young in their careers, but this was a number one contender match for the PWG title. So did you actually see this before, or is this a refresher? This is the first time you're watching all this?
I have not seen it before. I've legitimately have only seen it. I've only seen the TNA stuff. This is the first time I'm actually going to see a PWG match,
which is awesome. This is the first time. So you and I got fresh eyes. Of course, JJ, who was actually there at least for one of the nights, and there he is. That's why I took your effort away. There's JJ, fresh off the No DQ review. Please go check that out with Vito.
Yes, that was Vito. So awesome getting to interact with Big Vito from WWE, WCW.
It was fun when I did a video with him. He busted my ball so hard. It's his
ball buster. We love that.
Yeah.
I was so worried about being on a stream with him because you're doing a freaking No DQ review with an experienced 34-year veteran of the professional wrestling business. Is he going to think you're cool? Is he going to think you're a mark? So I was a little bit worried, but dude seemed pretty chill as hell. The answer is both. When I did the plug for La Princesa, he seemed very receptive, very happy for me that we had her coming, especially when I brought up the cancer survivor thing. He seemed very impressed in her struggle and her fight. So I'm very glad I was able to do it, man, get the word out about the show to the No DQ Galaxy. But I'm assuming you're running down the card real quick.
Yeah.
And that's what I came in at.
Yeah.
I'm looking for, I know I've watched this back a few times since being there, but it's been so long since I've watched it back. I'm curious to see how much I get seen on camera for this show, because you were just talking about the AJ Styles Samoa Joe match. I remember Samoa Joe going for one of his dives through the ropes, as Joe is known for doing, and I didn't move because I didn't know how good he was and how much air he was going to get, and the big man literally landed at my feet. So I'm going to be curious going back and watching this and seeing if you see me there when they do that spot and he lands at my feet. I don't think you'll see me much the rest of the show because I was like third row, wasn't really sure what to expect. And, later shows I was always there front row by the entranceway. So you saw me a lot. But I'm curious to see how much you're going to see me on this show and Jeff, because we always sat opposite. I was on the entrance side of the ring. He was on the other side of the ring. So you might see him in the no DQ crew more than you see me.
Oh, okay. All right. And by the way, Vito, if you tuned in, I'm not from Tulsa. I'm from Connecticut. You've been in a video with me, and you private chat me. You just probably don't remember because it's been so long.
It doesn't matter where you're from, even if you don't want people knowing what you do and where you're from. So let the family try and clean things up for you. You know, you're from Tulsa. Ain't no one gonna be, if they try to look for you in Tulsa, they ain't gonna find you in Tulsa. So let them look for you in Tulsa.
I'm in Tulsa, yeah, Oklahoma.
Think about it, man. But anyways, continue. I don't want to completely derail the flow that you've got going on here. I see I already drove James to be an icon.
What's that song?
Well, no, I just eating. I'm eating food. That's all I'm doing. But can you do me a favor? Can you do me a favor, JJ? Let Vito know I might have somebody he might need to take care of. I'm joking, obviously.
No, I know you're joking, but you know what? I don't know if Big Vito is going to tune into this because Walter did shill it. I don't know if he's going to tune into the thing on Friday because I did shill it. But Big Vito, if you're watching this, again, it was an honor and a privilege to sit next to you on the review, listen to your words of wisdom, your experience, your knowledge. I followed you via my Casa D18 Studio X account. We'd love to have you come on an episode of the Shenanigans one day in the future and just drop knowledge like you did in the review for us and our fans.
Mm-hmm.
So if you see this, great. If not, I'm going to try and reach out to you over time and see if we can't connect and set up a time and a place for you to come on, because some of the shit that you were saying, man, I think was just mind numbing. And to hear it from a 34-year vet, I think our audience would soak that up. It'd be like going to a wrestling seminar. You know what I mean? And sitting and listening for 2-3 hours as a special guest speaker comes to your college class and just educates.
Exactly.
So we would love to have you on an episode down the road, my friend.
Every time you say words of wisdom, I just want to go, let it be.
Especially considering what I'm wearing and what Aaron was wearing. I mean, we were both wearing Beatles. Gino was the third one to pop in. I was like, Gino, did you not get the memo, bro? Me and Aaron got the Beatles. Where's your Beatles gear? And then he was like, oh, I take the CM Punk philosophy when it comes to Beatles. I was like, oh.
I figured that's why y'all put it on. I said, I was busting y'all balls, and I retweeted the promo and said, do you guys need a hug? Because I know how big. I
told him it was probably the one thing me and TJS agree on is our love of the Beatles. Everything else, when it comes to TJS. But anyways, again, I don't want to derail the flow here. Get back to what you're doing, and then we can, now that I'm here, we can get to the main event, the main course, if you will, once we're done running the matches down. So
all right. So next up, we're gonna have Christopher Daniels, who, geez, what just happened to that guy, huh? Now, 20 years ago, he was still super active. Not what just happened with Paige, but Christopher Daniels, who is the X Division champ at this time, against Alex Shelley. Oh, I know that's going to be a banger. And again, these are fresh eyes. I've never seen this. I didn't even purposely read results or anything just so I can have fresh eyes and you can get genuine reactions of me watching this. So tune in.
And that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. Just as an FYI, the way that I sent the image in the graphic chat, that's the order of the matches. Just so you know, because I actually had to edit it, but the graphic originally said match 1, match 2, match 3. But in order to make them YouTube friendly, I had to crop it down a little bit. But the order they are in the graphics chat, that's the order of the matches for when you go to do the display.
Okay, cool.
Running them down, previewing it like this, whatever is whatever. But just so you know, when it goes to doing the display, that's the order of the matches.
Awesome.
But yeah, this was cool because I want to say it was the first time I saw the X Division Championship defended live. I had met Kazarian at a UPW independent wrestling show when he was X Division champion. But if my recollection serves me correctly, he didn't defend the title on that show. He just wrestled whatever match he was there for, which is why I had to ask him after the show, like, hey, I'm surprised you don't have the belt out here, man, posing for pictures like you're the champ. And he was like, just a second, went to the back, got the belt, and that's the picture I have with Kazarian with the X Division title. It's because I basically provoked him to go get the belt and take some pictures.
And it's the version you got behind you, right?
Yes, sir. That's why I wanted that belt. That's the version Christopher Daniels has here. You know, the superstars that I saw defend this title are the reason why I wanted this title. Frankie Kazarian, Christopher Daniels, AJ Styles, you know, Samoa Joe, even going back to like Low Key and Amazing Red is like, this is that title. And that's why I wanted it so bad, because it represented that era of no limits.
Awesome. All right. So then I'm going to here's a lot of Quicksilver, the Scorpio Sky, and speaking of, Frankie Kazarian against Joey Ryan, Scott Loss, and Chris Bosh, a very young Kazarian. Wow.
Wow.
Dude, it's amazing how long he's been in the business. Like,
and Scorpio Sky too. You're gonna watch this match, and right out the gate, you're not gonna recognize Scorpio Sky because he's still wearing a lucha mask at this point. This match kind of started the whole year-long rivalry between him and Scott Lost that ended at the end of the year with the I Quit match that the two had in PWG.
I see.
Kind of went from this to a few months later, Aerial Express, Sky and Quicksilver winning the tag titles. Scott Lost ripping the mask off of Sky, despite the fact that they didn't lose the match, so he didn't have to lose the mask.
Yeah.
Scott just being that dastardly of a heel and ripping it off of him, to then getting to the I Quit match that culminated at the end of the year. This was kind of the start of that whole rivalry.
Wow. Oh, there you go.
Wow.
You know, Joey Ryan, I know, is a polarizing name in professional wrestling now. Back then, not so much.
Yeah.
Back then, he was still the technical wizard coming out with like a Jedi cloak. You know, his T-shirt that I bought was very Return of the Jedi inspired with his logo.
Yeah.
So completely different gimmick. Chris Bosh, what's up, Cleaver? Good to see you here supporting. Awesome job hosting the review as always. Chris Bosh is one of those names like what could have been. He was so good, so arrogant of a heel. You know, their tag team, him and Lost, was called Arrogance, a play off the model Rick Martel's perfume spray. Used the model's entrance theme as his music. They were so good, and had Bosh, I think it was injuries, but had Bosh not had what happened to him happen, who knows where he could have been, considering the names that are on this card and where they ended up, whether it was TNA, AEW, WWE. Bosh could have been on that same level, honestly.
Yeah.
I think it was injuries, if I remember correctly. I think it was his neck, actually, if I remember correctly.
I don't recall, honestly.
And then, so the next one we'll talk about, which is what I'm really, really, really looking forward to. The American Dragon versus James Gibson.
Yeah, okay. All right.
I mean, if you guys don't know who the American Dragon was,
that'd be Daniel Bryan.
Exactly.
Brian Danielson.
And James Gibson, the former Jamie Noble.
Yeah. This is the technical match of the night because both of them are fucking great in the ring.
And this is bald-headed, long beard American Dragon. Like, I think he technically was a heel at this point. I don't recall.
Yeah.
But This was my first time seeing Bryan Danielson wrestle.
I'm looking forward to this.
And it was right after Jamie Noble, James Gibson, had left WWE. So it was just that perfect stars aligning moment.
Yeah.
Who's a producer right now, too. It's funny seeing him every now and then on these pull apart brawls. You always peep him in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Kendo, Kashin, and Puma versus Ricky Reyes and Rocky Romero as a tag team match there.
It's the Havana Pitbulls, Ricky Reyes, Rocky Romero. Rocky Romero still doing stuff today, obviously. Very prominent in New Japan. I believe he's the liaison between New Japan and AEW. You see him on AEW TV from time to time. Puma, TJ Perkins, under a lucha mask. A lot of people are familiar with TJ Perkins or TJP these days. This is a very young TJ under the Puma mask. Kendo Kashin, I'm still not really familiar with. I want to say this was the only time I ever saw him. Don't know a whole lot about him. But Ricky Reyes and Rocky Romero, man, the Havana Pitbulls, that's kind of where I first got introduced really to Rage Against the Machine. I know they had existed for a while, and I'd probably heard their music, but them using Bulls on Parade is like what really sticks in my mind as far as, being introduced to Rage.
I'm not gonna lie, Kendo Kashin is the only one I really don't know who he is out of all the. He was the only one I'm like, who is that? But
I'm interested. I'm interested in this show. This looks like a damn good card.
Exactly. Look at this. Johnny Storm
and Petey Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Who's Johnny Storm?
Johnny Storm is a British wrestler. Ironically, he's the guy who we owe the thanks and the debt of gratitude for posting these shows on YouTube. It's his YouTube channel that I got the videos from.
You're kidding me. Is it
Nope.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
If you really do some deep diving, there are not a whole lot of PWG full shows out there on YouTube, but because he's on the card, I guess he got permission from PWG and High Spots to post it. And that's how we're able to access these to do these. It's because they're on his YouTube channel. He was on night 1 and night 2.
Makes sense. Okay.
Petey Williams, of course, the Canadian Destroyer. Another man who held this belt that I hold in such reverence. As I like to call him, my Canadian brother from another mother.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to rewinding this one back.
It's going to be a good one.
Oh, yeah. Definitely looking forward to that. And then the last one we can talk about is Chris Hero against Chris Sabin, the Battle of the Chris's.
Yep. So, ironically, you have both Motor City Machine Guns on the card. And I don't think they had actually formed the Motor City Machine Guns at this point yet.
No.
They were still very much solo acts.
Yep. I believe they did not form until 2007 is when they first kind of did tandem offenses. So it started right around then.
And Chris Hero was supposed to be the third guy in the Shield.
Yes.
Roman Reigns took Cassius Ohno, Chris Hero's spot, because WWE was so high on Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
So that just kind of shows a little bit of how good Chris Hero is. Chris Hero and CM Punk had some barn burners in IWA Mid-South.
Yes.
Those matches are on YouTube. You can find those. You can watch those. Chris Hero, tag team partner with Claudio Castagnoli, the Kings of Wrestling.
Amen.
For those of y'all that don't know Chris Hero, do your homework, bro. In the words of Vince Russo. For real.
Yeah, it's a great team. Like those two, Claudio and Hero. I'm actually shocked considering they're both a part of the same company now that Hero is somehow not a part of the Death Riders, because those two as a team would be amazing.
I think Hero is retired from active competition, but WWE had the opportunity to put the Kings together.
Yeah.
Because they had Cassius Ohno and Cesaro at the same time.
Yeah, and they
and
only
AEW could have put Claudio and Hero together, and neither company took advantage of that.
Yep. It's a damn shame. And by the way, the WWE did take advantage of that once. It was one time in NXT. They actually.
Okay, I was going to say it had to be either an FCW or NXT because I know they didn't on main roster.
Emmanuel, the link is in the description to this video. You can
watch
along with us.
I was just going to bring that up. I know I'm on producer side, but I didn't want to overstep my bounds. I was going to ask you to bring Emmanuel's comment on the screen. For anybody that is watching this stream right now, if you go to the description, regardless of what channel you're on, James's channel, Walter's channel, my channel, Noah's channel, the link to the video that we are going to use to watch this is in the description.
Yes.
As soon as we get ready to start it, we'll do a countdown. We'll do a whole like 3, 2, 1 hit play type of thing, and we'll all hit play at the same time. That way we can all be in sync at the same time.
Exactly.
But yeah, you can find the link in our descriptions, Emmanuel. And again, that goes for everybody. Charles, Cleaver, Safet, even if your wife, Lee, wants to watch along with us.
I'm about to cut a promo on her. She didn't know. Remember I told you about the 90s con? It's not her fault. She wasn't watching WCW. She didn't know David Arquette was a wrestler. She had all these photos with him, all these autographs, all these pictures. I said, you dropped
former
the ball.
WCW champion.
Yeah.
I said, you dropped the ball. You could have so had that and plugged me in. And she was like, I didn't even know he's a wrestler. I just know him from acting. I was like, oh my God.
To be fair, man, I met Arquette as well. I met him at D23. He was doing promotions because he was one of the voices on Jake and the Neverland Pirates.
True.
He was the voice of the bird, I think, Scully. And
not vibes.
The channel wasn't really doing anything at the time. But if we had been active and the Casa channel had like really been thriving at the time, I would have asked him to do something because I got a picture with him. Cool dude. But like the channel wasn't really doing anything at that point. Otherwise, I totally would have had him do it. So
she said he's the nicest guy. Him and Jaleel White were super nice to her. But I mean, we're almost at 9. We might as well just like let it hit 9. There we go.
There we go.
Now we might as well go. Like that way, it's like we did it at the top of the hour.
Perfect. So are you gentlemen queued up, ready to go?
Yep. All I gotta do is hit play.
James, you ready?
I am ready. I'm ready to go.
All right. So we will hit play in 3, 2, 1, play.
Hey.
You see right there, it starts off with a Johnny Storm Life graphic, the Wonder Kid.
Yes.
Right into match 1. There's no entrances, nothing. It just literally goes straight into the matches.
God damn. Okay.
Jesus.
All right. Well.
So go ahead and throw up that first graphic there, Walter. John Ian, the ring announcer. May John Ian rest in peace. SoCal legend here. Ring announcer for many a federation. Excalibur, Disco Machine, and I forget who else is in there. Ronin, I think, is his team partner. Taking on Hook Bomberry, Top Gun Talwar, Davey Richards. Where's the graphic? There we go. So yeah, Hook Bomberry, Top Gun Talwar, Ronin and Davey Richards versus Disco Machine, Excalibur, Phoenix Star and Zokre. Phoenix Star and Zokre, Los Luchas, big tag team around here. Excalibur in the all-black bodysuit, still wearing the same mask you see him wear at the AEW announcement position. Excalibur starting things off with Top Gun Talwar.
I'm laughing at how redundant it is. I don't know why I created banners when the little graphics are the names of the matches.
It's all good.
I that was my call. I was like, well, we kind of established that that's kind of what we do, so why not just
that's fair. That's fair. Plus, I mean, if we ever do post a video with the video up here, like I did for some of the La Princesa matches, still got the ticker to show the names.
Yeah.
Oh, nice shove there by Excalibur. Not wasting any time with this guy.
Top Gun Talwar was one of those comedic wrestlers, you know. Dude came out to Kenny Loggins' Danger Zone from the movie Top Gun.
Of course he does, which is on his tights, by the way.
Of course. And if you look at the logo on his chest, it's very much Top Gun inspired there.
Oh, he's a maverick.
Here's the real question. Can he wrestle better than he can do commentary? Because his commentary, woo!
Excalibur is not a horrible commentator. I just think he's too gimmicky because he still wears the mask and everything, much like Lawler all those years still had the crown and tights.
For the record, he had a really good pinning combination, but another one followed up here by what's his face?
Top Gun Talwar.
Top Gun Talwar.
Top Gun Talwar and Hook Bomberry would later on become a tag team called Gunning for Hookers.
So how
now we got Disco Machine in the ring.
How loose were the ropes? Because they look pretty.
You know,
pretty loose. Davey Richards in for the other side, one half of the American Wolves, along with Eddie Edwards.
Can we just talk about this real quick? We got to now, because I love how they give so much shit to Disco Inferno, but they have a fucking wrestler named Disco Machine.
from Studio 54.
Yeah, from Studio 54. But no, it's okay for Disco Machine to be a thing, but Disco Inferno, no, he was a jobber kid, never gonna make it in the business. See the hypocrisy there? Just figured I'd point that out. Sorry. I had to. It was a gimme.
Hook Bomberry in now. And I believe Zokre in on the other side.
Should be interesting. By the way, I think out of all the people I'm most impressed with this Excalibur out of the little things we've seen. They actually showed he got some wrestling chops.
Excalibur was actually a decent wrestler. Him, Super Dragon, and Disco Machine made up a stable called the S.B.S.
Yes, well, there was an incident with those infamous three gentlemen that you just mentioned.
Fun fact, this is the first Excalibur match I've ever seen. So this is the first time I'm seeing him wrestle.
I think it's a lot of people's first time seeing Excalibur. So many people are used to seeing him as a commentator these days. Ooh. And they don't realize that he actually was a pretty well-established independent wrestler out here in SoCal.
Very good tilt-a-whirl backbreaker here by the Luchador. Now going for a tilt-a-whirl head scissors. Got all of it. Whoo! And now he's not even anywhere near his corner. Crawls back desperately to try to get a tag.
Yeah, what the hell was that?
Here comes, I believe, Phoenix Star in. Hook Bomberry still in for the other side. Here comes Top Gun Talwar.
It looks like we might be going for a double team move here by the Luchas. Ooh, double stomp to both individuals. Very nice.
A single double stop. That was pretty cool.
I like that. That was very nice.
Right Ronin in now. Ronin would get chants from the crowd of Hello Kitty because of his mask there.
I totally see it too.
Hello Kitty was around in 2005?
Dude, Hello Kitty's been around for a minute, bro.
Was it?
Yes.
I thought that was a freaking Gen Z thing.
No.
No. God, that wasn't a Gen Z thing. Pop-up bullhammer in the martial arts kick.
It was big it was big in Japan for some years before it came to America. So remember, it was in Japan too.
Listen, he ain't no Hello Kitty. That motherfucker acted like a jaguar, and he pounced on that boy. Rawr.
These damn dances by Disco. I can't take it.
Here comes Davey Richards again. Nice drop down elbow, goes for the pinning combination, gets a 2 count by referee Rick Knox.
Yeah, very much.
Same Rick Knox that is an AEW official.
Yeah, that was a very good corkscrew elbow. Good PK there by Davey Richards. Always been technically sound even all the way back then.
That was a huge kick, dude. I heard that. Oof.
Yeah, that was hard. You can
That's
hear
what
that
I like.
Bingle Hall.
That's what I like about the independents, the sound, the way the sound travels, man. You could hear these moves, man.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this was just a little Jewish community center. Like, on a good night, we probably had, I think there were about 300 people in attendance for this show.
True.
And you look at how small this room is, how everyone is bunched together. You can understand why, with the lights and the close knit of how we all are, why it got the nickname the Sweat Box.
Yeah, no shit. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
That light in the corner is super bright.
See, this is where you have to have Mort Goldman say the actual name. It's the Sweat Box. Ben Stiller runs it.
I'm surprised Paul Heyman never said that. While you were saying busy in the Sweat Box. That would have been hilarious.
Dude, could you have imagined? Like, if Kenny Omega comes in to WWE at any point, that's a line he definitely should say. He should say if they're smart and feud him with Roman or Punk, whichever he aligns with.
Here comes Top Gun again.
Hi, Top Gun.
Again, Top Gun was always more of a comedic wrestler. There was a time, I think it started maybe about 6 months after this, where he would actually come out with powder under his nose and face like he had been snorting cocaine before the match.
So you're telling me that this
and he did this on a regular basis. It wasn't just like a one shot, like it was part of the gimmick.
So he's a coke fiend on top of
that was part of the shtick. Part of the shtick. He wasn't. Dude, his mom actually ran the concession stand. Mama Talwar had some of the best concessions that there ever were.
Oh, wow. Ooh, nice saving grace off the springboard of the neck breaker. Good.
Excalibur and to break up the pinfall attempt there.
That was brilliant there. But yeah, this guy is definitely showing his chops here. I mean, he's showing he's much more than comedy. Definitely the original Chad Gable, if you will.
He was Cocaine Kane before Kane was a thing.
Ooh, good Pele kick right to the back of the head.
Again, I believe Phoenix Star is the one with the shorts. Zokre has got the straps.
Wait, that's not legal. He tagged 3 people in. That's not legal.
With this many people in a match, man, you got to get smart. Excalibur with a suicide dive through the ropes, Disco Machine and Zokre going through and up and over respectively.
No shit! Holy shit!
Springboard off the top. Somersault plancha there, taking out Ronin.
As someone who used to wrestle, that's so much more comfortable in shorts and like stuff like that rather than tight ass gear.
Really?
Hell yeah!
Wait, you used to do. Wait, hold on. Pause. You're telling me you did springboards?
No, I'm talking about in general. The gear that they got, the loose shorts and stuff, feels so much more comfortable. Like you have no idea how much better it is.
I was about to say. I'm like, okay.
Dude, I wasn't always big, by the way. I used to play football. I was in shape when I was younger.
That's fair.
Excalibur and Davey Richards in the ring now.
Ooh, nice insecurity there. Nice wrist control into the Northern Lights. A 2 count for Davey Richards.
JJ can attest to this because, like, as someone used to wrestle, I look at things a little different. Right now, I feel bad because I know Excalibur's got to be hot as shit in that full bottle suit.
Blue Thunder Bomb still didn't get a 3 count.
Although it was broken up, so this was back then. Oh, great power bomb, though.
Even back then, they couldn't get the win with the Blue Thunder Bomb.
Ooh,
DVD.
Driver. Jesus.
Ronin with the pinfall attempt. Phoenix Star gets the break there.
By the way, have you seen yourself yet?
No, not yet.
Oh, nice West Coast pop there. There's 2 and a nice breakup there from the opposing team. Davey Richards actually in there to break it up. And now we've gone full-on Lucha rules here in this PWG tag match.
Forearm exchanges.
Got Hook Bomberry right now and Phoenix Star throwing punches. Nice Michinoku driver by Hook Bomberry.
Yeah, that was a
gets the 2 count.
Driver. That was a version 2, by the way.
I always loved that move, by the way, the Michinoku driver.
Yeah, when you do it right, it's a freaking great finishing style maneuver.
And it's won more matches than a Blue Thunder Bomb.
This is accurate.
That's true.
Sorry, Noah.
I mean, let's be honest. Even when it was originally Val Venus's move, it never finished matches. Nice choke breaker, choke slam backbreaker into a cover. There's 2 and a break up there by Danger Zone man.
Deep hook of the leg there by Disco Machine there.
Yeah, Disco Machine almost had it. Disco Machine showing he's got the wrestling IQ.
So you're saying he's got the moves?
He does have the moves.
And just for reference, Top Gun, Disco, and Excalibur were all part of the PWG 6 that helped start and found the company here.
Oh, okay.
And all of them in here in this opening contest. Super Dragon, the champion in the main event, was one of the other 6. And then Scott Lost and Joey Ryan were the other 2.
Jesus.
Shooting Star Press.
Oh my God.
Gets the 3 count off of it, and the babyface is here with the victory.
That was amazing.
You got to put this ring together? Because I know you used to build rings and stuff.
No, that was for Battleground.
That was a great
go right in here to match 2, Chris Hero and Chris Sabin.
Bro, that match was there was so much to talk about in that match. That ending sequence with the German suplex by Excalibur to the shooting star was very clean.
I'm kind of glad this is old school Sabin. Is it just me, or does Ace Austin kind of look like a modern day version of OG Sabin?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Like, I've been thinking it for so long, but I didn't want to say it because so many people have this modern image of Sabin and don't go back to this like I do. But you look at like 2005 Chris Sabin here and tell me he doesn't look like Ace Austin.
No, we're about to get a technical clinic here between these two, I believe.
A technical high flying clinic. Both men can ground wrestle. Both men know how to move. Don't be deceived by Hero's height.
Yeah.
Well, just remind me to click right, guys, to get the graphic in order. Because instead of backing out and going back in, I'm just gonna click.
You're gonna swipe right?
Yeah. Good one, dude.
Whoa! Wow.
Sabin with the great maneuvering there, reversing the hammer lock there that Hero had locked in.
Guys were so innovative with the most basic fundamentals, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Like a wrist lock is such a time-tested thing as part of pro wrestling, and for these guys to be able to counter each other's wrist lock into other variations of wrist lock is a sight to behold.
Did you see the way Hero just reversed it there? Did a handstand
that was brilliant.
Into a kip up and then reversed the momentum here. Now Sabin side headlock takedown. Dominant position here by the future Chris Sabin.
What's funny is we do all this watch-alongs and everything. Watching this makes me miss wrestling so much, like physically doing it.
Dude, you and me both, man. This was the time when I was wrestling full time. So I was watching the WWE product on a regular basis. I was watching TNA on a regular basis. I was going to PWG at least once a month, if not every other week, because after April here, they started doing shows like every couple of weeks. You'd get 2 shows a month.
Ooh.
I was going as much as I could, trying to soak everything up and study, because you wanted to know what that you could adapt to your own style.
By the way, look at the way he was still able to maintain that headlock in. That was a struggle the way they made that look. That was brilliant.
Nice reversal.
Wow.
And I don't know if you guys really are catching it, but listen to the way the crowd is here. It's almost like watching an old Japanese match. The crowd is so silent.
Yeah. Wow.
Just
are you kidding me?
Everything up. Applauding at the right time. Applauding at the right time. You see the applause here for the athleticism and the ability. But there's not a bunch of stupidity coming from the crowd.
No.
Yeah. No Chris.
That's the one thing. That's the one thing I love about these is there was an option on these DVDs. You could get the commentary that was recorded later by Excalibur, Disco Machine, etc. But the version that Johnny Storm's put up here, there's no commentary. You're just kind of taking it all in the way it felt watching it live.
Nice.
Just listen. Listen to the silence from the crowd as they appreciate the maneuvering and the ability and the athleticism of the performers.
Definitely. That's what I love about when NJPW, when you go on the website, some of them have no commentary and you can watch it like this.
Mm-hmm. And again, they say that the worst reaction you can get is no reaction, but there's a difference between not reacting to a big spot and showing your appreciation for the ability.
Wow. That was
again, you hear the applause there after that huge drop kick. So we still made noise and appreciated big spots.
Yeah.
But we're not trying to get ourselves over as a fan base.
You know what's
Definitely.
amazing about that is, again, Hero's a very tall guy. He's deceivingly tall. And for him to be able to pull off that drop-down drop kick, like that's a basic stuff you learn in wrestling school. He made that look like it was done by a pro, man. Like that's what's so crazy about that. And this is early Chris Hero. Like this dude looked like he was a veteran of the game already by this point.
Yeah, this is a Chris Hero that had just pretty much come off the circuit with Punk. Because you figure the show prior to this was Punk's last PWG show. Before going to OVW and starting everything that he did there. So this was right after all of that shit with Hero.
Oh, nice.
The crowd does react at the right times. I do love that. That was a good point, JJ.
Let's talk about this though. That handspring out of the corner, and he does a double stomp. I think he may have hit him right in the Sabins. I think his groin is going to be hurting for a while. And,
did you say right in the Sabins?
He did, right in the mommy daddy
fucking Sabins, yes. Right in the testicles. Nice
I
drop.
did that. By Sabin dropped Hero there.
He dropped him. Dude, he legit kicked him in the head. That was a receiver.
I broke JJ the other day because Cappuccino Jones was wrestling and he got grind like that. And I said, right in the coffee beans. And JJ just broke.
I popped so hard for that.
That's a good one. And now look at that, man. He's just smashing the back of his head. I think he's pissed that he just got stomped right in the dick. He is taking his aggression out on Chris Hero here. Nice snap there. Applying the chin lock, and look at the way he wrenches on him.
Notice the knee in the back for added pressure there as well.
Yep.
Putting momentum and pressure on the spine as he pulls back the head and neck.
Dude, I just noticed Chris Hero is basically doing the Superman emblem on his shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that's exactly. That's what he was known for back then. Yeah.
Went for a jawbreaker. Sabin countered out of it, had it scouted, drop kick to the back of the head and neck.
My neck hurts.
I've never seen that before.
Dude, that was like right on the neck. That's dangerous.
Huh. That's a brilliant counter out of the standard ass jawbreaker. That was brilliant, actually.
Now just stepping.
There's a reason why Sabin used to have the nickname The Future, just like Frankie Kazarian.
Yeah.
Both guys were supposed to be the next generation of high flyers. Yep. TNA capitalized on that in the early days and had a lot of matches between the two of them.
Ooh!
The Future.
Look at this. Butterfly lock, tarantula style over the turnbuckles, just wrenching on those arms.
Using every bit of a 5 count.
Absolutely.
Now gonna go for a neck breaker, it looks like. Possibly. Oh! Edge-o-matic jawbreaker, but to the back of the neck. Very innovative there by Sabin.
Hero hung up there on the top rope in a very bad way.
Now going to go for a regular snap nair to follow up. Going to go for that single leg drop kick. Almost a Swerve's house.
Right right?
Temple. Nice hook to, actually, a lateral press that time. Very, very aggressive kick out there by, Chris Hero, rather.
What was Swerve? 10-12 when this happened? He was born in the 90s, right?
Yeah, he was a young boy watching this. if he was even watching wrestling by that point. Ooh, nice shoulder breaker onto the wrist, and now a wrist capture suplex there. Very innovative this time by Chris Hero.
Hero had to do something to get some distance. He's been dominated here by Sabin these last few minutes.
And now getting the crowd on his side here. Hero chance rain out here at this Jewish Community Center. The sweat box.
I was 22 years old when this was going on. Where did time go?
Oh, discus elbow to Sabin's elbow. Again, innovative stuff. TNA kick right to the gut, though, by Sabin and into a hangman's neck breaker. Right over the shoulder blade. Goes for the inside leg. There's 2 and a kick out.
I was 28.
Jojo, what? Jojo. Wow. JJ, what? Sorry, my son's is Jojo. What month did this come out in 2005?
This was April. This was WrestleMania weekend for WrestleMania 21. This was the Friday night. Saturday night, the one we'll do tomorrow, was night 2. That was the same night as the Hall of Fame, which is why Jeff wasn't there. I wasn't there just because I couldn't afford it 2 nights in a row. The third night, there was no third night, but then the Sunday would have been WrestleMania 21, which I was there for.
This is 3 months before my wife and I even started dating. So that's how long ago this was.
Damn, nice octopus stretch, by the way. Look at the way he has his arm hooked around Sabin's arm while he has a chin lock applied with his other arm. Ooh, great counter out of it. Ooh.
Nice pinning predicament. Crucifix counter by Sabin. Hero gets out of it.
That was a bit close for comfort there for Hero.
Their neck kind of rolled in the ring when they did that.
Yeah, no shit. Oh, a nice leg drop. A little short-range leg drop. Another one by Sabin, and now he's just really targeting the back of that neck.
Head full of steam when he did that.
Ooh, kick out at one, though, by Hero. Defiant.
Hero's starting to hulk up a little bit. He's trying to feel that momentum, trying to get a little bit going here for him.
No, Irish whip here by Sabin. Tries to charge in. Nice elbow strike right to the bridge of the nose of Sabin. Got the arm into a nice arm breaker. That's a Tower of London special there. But this time with the arm, just wrenching on that arm.
JJ, seriously, thanks for having us do this, yo. This is just, I'm loving this, man.
Yeah,
this was big for me, dude. Like I said, I had gone to a couple of independent shows in 2004 before this, but this really was kind of like my gateway into independent wrestling, because this was the closest I could get to TNA at the time. Like TNA was still like in their little home base in Florida, and they didn't travel.
Yeah.
So if I wanted to see the stars of TNA, I had to go to an independent promotion, and we had Chris Sabin, Petey Williams, AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian. You know, Samoa Joe would come a little bit later. He wasn't there at the time. But like Chris Hero had been there early on. There's even a TNA trading card of Chris Hero.
By the way, key lock knee drop right to the inner elbow there of Sabin.
So this was the only way I could see those guys live. And then by going to see those guys, because I was such a TNA fan, I was exposed to Chris Hero, to Top Gun Talwar, to Joey Ryan, to Kevin Steen and El Generico. Wonder what happened to those guys.
Yeah, right.
You
By the way,
he needs to come back and fight El Grande Americano.
Damn right. WrestleMania, El Generico versus El Grande Americano. Make it happen.
Right.
By the way, Tequila Sunrise, by Chris Hero. Holy shit. Ooh, great counter out of it, too. Got to the ropes. He basically broke out of it when he reached for the ropes.
Make it a mask versus mask match.
One has to. You know what? That's a great long-term payoff for the Sami Zayn Chad Gable feud.
Hell yeah, it would.
Yeah. Ooh, trying to go for a Northern Lights suplex with the arm capture. Great counter out of it there by Sabin. Now tries to go for a stalling suplex.
But you're very welcome, Walter. Like I said, this was a huge moment because essentially this is where I met Jeff. And we all know what the Jeff and JJ partnership kind of led to.
Ooh!
Hooks the leg.
Be here right now if this night. If this night didn't happen, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah. What became the Jeff Meacham Network, what became Casa D18 Studios, what became the Multiverse of Media, and then became Simply Reliable Studios would not exist without us kind of meeting here. And we didn't even really become friends until later in the year. Right. It was just kind of a casual acquaintance, the first few months. We saw Jeff, we saw Aaron, we saw Lee and Mike at the time, and some of the other no DQ guys. And knew they were big because they were getting to talk to the superstars.
Ooh, there's that cravat, by the way. Trying
Nice
to go for
counter
a
by
cravat
Sabin.
suplex. Ooh. I'm liking this. I knew immediately what Sabin was. Hero was trying to go for with a cravat suplex. Dodges the big boot to Sabin. Tornado DDT out of the springboard position.
Hooks the leg. 2, gets a 2.5 count. And then over time, we grew to be friends. You know, so this was a huge thing. And 20 years, like, I just thought this would be a great opportunity to kind of revisit it.
I agree.
And then again, you look at the talent on this card and where they are now. Chris Sabin, huge force in TNA for years, just got to WWE late last year with Alex Shelley and the Motor City Machine Guns, both men on the card here. Kevin Steen and El Generico, again, where are they now?
Ooh,
AJ Styles, Scorpio Sky, Christopher Daniels, Samoa Joe. Kazarian. You know, again, so many names that went on and became big. Rocky Romero, like I mentioned about the New Japan.
Wow.
There's the tap.
Wow. What a crossface.
Yeah, tap. Oh,
dude.
JJ, you know, you mentioned the whole John Cena thing earlier in the spaces, but I came in kind of late. I was going to say, you know, if you can do Cena winning that title, right? Because I feel like Cena's untouchable. His legacy is there.
Yeah.
Everything. He can be the one that can afford to win the title and lose it the same night. Because think about the star you make Kazarian. If Cena beats him and then Kazarian cashes in and beats Cena for that title immediately after, Cena can afford it.
Yeah.
Swipe right.
Swipe right.
Oh, thanks.
By the way,
match 3 here, the Wonder Kid Johnny Storm versus the Canadian Destroyer Petey Williams. Again, thank you to Johnny Storm for posting this on his YouTube channel.
Yes.
That's how we're able to watch it along.
Real quick. I have to say, in the last match, you'll notice the reversal to get to that unbelievable Fujiwara crossface, which is what that was. He karate chopped Sabin's arm, the arm he'd been working on all match, to get that submission onto him. Brilliant psychology.
Referee Rick Knox once again.
Now here we go with Petey Williams. Bell has rung. And now look at this. Petey Williams is talking shit to fans, it looks like. Oh! Got immediately caught with the kick here by Johnny Storm. We're not wasting any time.
The outside, Johnny Storm up and over.
Wow, okay. Big man with the corkscrew plancha. That was amazing. That was really clean, too, by the way. You'll notice how hard they hit those, by the way. Like, they did not pull punches. That was
no. And you notice there's no mats outside the ring. It is just a basketball court.
Oh my God.
It is hardwood.
Well, speaking of hardwood, he just got a leg drop right onto the apron with a leg drop. And now here we go. We're just fast and furious from the opening bell here. Johnny Storm with an excellent arm drag.
Steamboat-esque.
Yeah, it was. What an exchange right out of the early going by these guys, by the way. I'm shocked Johnny Storm is not doing more in wrestling with just a little I've seen of him here.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I don't know. Maybe if it was the booking fee trying to fly him over from the UK on a regular basis, but this weekend was the only time we had him, I believe, at PWG, at least that I was there for. He may have been someone they flew over prior to this for other shows.
Speaking of, by the way, he just that was amazing. That whole the way he was able to counteract that wrist lock was very out of Johnny Saint's playbook there.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, James. I was laughing at my wife's comment. I just read it. Like
Petey Williams with a nice waist lock there. Johnny Storm, the elbows trying to get free, getting Petey to break the grip. Back to the wrist lock. Again, some of these simple wrestling maneuvers I feel like are lost on the modern audience.
Yes.
So many people are so quick to do the Flippy McFlipperson stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not trying to shit on the people that do that, but these guys in the ring are known for the flips as well, but they've still got the technical wherewithal to do things like arm bars and wrist locks and tell stories in the match and not just go for the spot.
Wow, another Johnny Saint counter, by the way.
And believe it or not, JJ can attest to this. Something the simple moves like that hurt more. Like the backslide, dude, the backslide hurts because it stretches your, like, I remember taking it, I was like, damn, that shit kind of hurts. Like,
it stretches you.
Yeah.
Catch can, man. Britain
Petey using his leg strength to grapevine the head and neck of Johnny Storm here.
You'll notice Johnny Storm actually holding his wrist and making sure he doesn't get the full extension in the arm. Ooh.
Freaking young ass Petey.
Yeah, young ass Petey with the freaking damn crazy hair over here. Ooh, great counter there. Able to get to the ropes.
Long before little Petey Pump.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
I try to forget that. I look at little Petey Pump and I shake my head. I'm like, damn, Petey, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Granted, he was part of the greatest Steiner promo ever, Steiner Math, but still,
yes.
You look at this and you look at that and you're like, my, how the mighty have fallen.
Yep.
Right.
Nice collar and elbow tie up again by both guys here.
Let you know he's a company man. You got to work with what they give you, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Now we got a nice armbar here by Johnny Storm. Arm wringer counter, though, by Petey Williams. There's Johnny Saint, though, with a lucha arm drag counter. Showing the versatility of both individuals here. Nice open palm strike, keeping Sabin perched out of the top rope. Nice Spanish fly from the middle rope. That was the cleanest I've ever seen in a 2 count for Johnny Storm.
That was a clean ass.
Almost like an arm drag Johnny Spanish fly too. The way that he had him hooked, it wasn't the traditional.
Clean ass lion salt counter into a German suplex cover and a 2 count for Petey Williams. Wow. Damn, man. Damn. Nice snap nair into a single leg drop kick right to the back of the head. There's a 2 count. Just brilliant psychology by both guys. Shot right to the gut. Boxing instinct coming into play. Those are some boxing shots, but a great Scorpion death drop counter that time by Petey into a cover and a 2 count.
Notice how he hooked both legs there. He was not taking Johnny Storm lightly.
No.
Yeah, some people now need to learn that. Hook both damn legs.
And now shushing the audience here. It looks like he's going to try to go for maybe a hesitation drop kick here. Oh, nope. Just going to club him right in the back to try to keep him down. Petey Williams in full control here. Going to try to go for a backbreaker. Got all of it. Up. I don't know what the heck happened with Walter. Walter just dropped. Up. There he comes.
Here he comes to save the day.
Hey, Walter. What happened?
I don't know. That was weird.
Well, we need graphic.
Yeah, I'm bringing it back.
Nice straight jacket, really by the way. Straight jacket, chicken, kind of a straight jacket chin lock here. Both guys showing their technical wrestling chops, very much catch can style. Tried to go for a wheelbarrow suplex, did Petey Williams. Ended up turning it into a Northern Lights. A kick out of 2 by Johnny Storm. Got the shoulder up at the nick of time. Going to try to wear the man out by just pinning him. That's how you exhaust your opponent. Ooh. Innovative cover there.
There's a lot of innovative offense.
Yeah, that's what I'm noticing. Like, honestly, I'm shocked with, we talk about like wrestling evolving. I look at stuff like this and I'm wondering, has wrestling devolved? Because like these guys are, we should be seeing more of this type of like technical wizardry here, and especially the psychology of said technical matches. Because like what Jonny and Petey are doing here like makes a lot of sense psychologically.
We should be seeing more like quote unquote botches and mess ups. This is
An
independent
indie
wrestling. We see
Yeah.
more on actual national TV now than this. This was way cleaner.
Wow! Are you kidding me? Springboard, reverse out of the German attempt into a freaking spring out of that into a DDT. That was the cleanest I've ever seen.
Just to say, speaking of clean, that DDT was crazy.
In a lot of ways, I think you're right there in how professional wrestling has devolved.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because, again, you look at how long these matches are going. And yeah, it's about the same length of time that AEW gives their matches. But AEW fills their stuff with all the high fly stuff. And rarely do you get matches that are this technically sound.
Look at the way they're striking, too, by the way. God damn.
Yeah.
Springboard into a Hurricane Rana there by Johnny Storm, bouncing off both middle ropes.
Dude, he pulled a Grand Metalik before Grand Metalik was even a thing.
Ring psychology has definitely been lost.
And now, oh no! Oh no!
That's hilarious.
Wow! Kicking his leg, using his arm into a shin breaker, into an enziguri, and Petey falls to the outside.
And the sell by Petey was so brilliant. That's some Ric Flair-esque selling there. Shawn Michaels-esque selling from the Canadian Destroyer Petey Williams.
We might see JJ here now that they're outside.
Oh my god, dude. That is crazy. I see a dude with a slick back hair that looks like he's a mobster, but I don't think that's JJ. Hurricane Rana. Oh my god.
Wait, did you see how he spun on his back in the ring before he did that? That was awesome.
Yeah, that was really good by Johnny Storm. And what a Hurricane Rana, by the way. Unbelievable Hurricane Rana.
Oh my god. I got PTSD staring at those gym mats.
And I was just taking a rest here at one of the fans' seats at ringside.
I think they're on the hard camera side, which would put me on the other side of the ring.
Gotcha. Okay. Now look at this. It looks like PD going to try to climb back out of the ring here, maintaining offense here against Johnny Storm. Irish Whip, though, gets countered by Johnny Storm. Trying to go for a Hurricane Rana. Tried to go for a power bomb. Did Petey Williams. And got countered with a brilliant Russian leg sweep counter. Ooh.
And if you remember old school Petey Williams, that's usually one of the setups there before he goes for the Destroyer. He does that tilt-a-whirl into the side Russian.
Yep.
And then we'll usually start calling and taunting for the Destroyer.
Mm-hmm.
And this is before it was abused like it has been over the years.
Yeah, this is going to be somebody actually selling it, not popping
And you
right
can
back
see him
up.
trying to rope him in, kick to the midsection.
Here we go.
Goes.
Ooh.
Turns it into a sunset flip, roll through.
Ooh. Great pinning combination by Johnny Storm. Great pinning combination by Petey Williams. Another one by Storm. Both guys are getting out of each other's pinning predicaments here. Gonna go for a backslide here. Ooh. Turning around. Ooh. Gonna go for the sharpshooter.
Leave it to a Canadian to execute the excellence of execution's finishing maneuver.
And it's
Took the words out of my mouth.
Brilliantly applied as well by Petey Williams.
Sitting down, perfect.
But look at how close Johnny Storm is to the rope there.
And by the way, can people give Owen his credit? Because he did the sharpshooter.
Very
if not
well.
as beautiful, more beautiful than Brett.
I agree.
Agreed. Just Brett was the innovator, so he always gets the flowers for it.
Mm-hmm.
And now it looks like Petey is going to try to set up for the Canadian Destroyer one more time here. Textbook flipping pile driver. Now he's going to get it. Just clubbing shots right to the small of the back here, maybe trying to wear down his opponent. Johnny Storm trying to channel the energy here of the PWG faithful here in the sweatbox.
Damn. Forearms to the backs.
Oh! Oh! Made in Japan by Johnny Storm into a cover. There's 2 and a kick out by Petey Williams at 2.9.
That was a beautiful made in Japan move.
Pump handle driver.
Wow.
And that does not get the win. Man, a lot of moves that I'm seeing in nowadays pro wrestling. You're seeing them here in PWG.
20 years ago.
20 years ago, yes.
Stop reminding me, man. 20 years ago.
Trying to go for it. Looks like Johnny Storm was trying to go for his finish. Petey Williams able to counter it. Going to try to go for the Canadian Destroyer one more time. Great reversal, though. Out of it by Johnny Storm. Reversal out of the charging attack. Go ahead, Walter.
Wasn't the smartest thing. He should have just did it instead of trying to call for it. That hesitation is what gave time.
Oh my God! The hell did you hear that slap over the back?
Of course,
did indeed.
Jesus criminy! And now look at that. Try to go for another springboard out of the corner as Johnny Storm. Oh my God! You're fucking me. No, you're fucking me. Petey Williams is not going to do this. He's not going to do this.
A top rope Canadian Destroyer?
Got countered. Trying to go for the Canadian Destroyer. Got countered. And Johnny Storm with an upset on Petey Williams.
That was my biggest disappointment this night, is I didn't get to see the Canadian Destroyer live.
You didn't want to ruin it for us.
I didn't like that you didn't get to see it, but God, that fucking sequence was clean.
Look at baby Rocky Romero.
What the fuck? Dude, Rocky Romero, brother. Holy shit. You have changed.
A little bit older, a little bit wiser, a little bit more of a grizzled young vet. But still a badass motherfucker back here.
Oh, yeah.
Wonder what Ricky Reyes is up to now.
Like I said, I think he's retired.
Damn, man.
Puma there with the yellow stripes on his tights. Kendo Kashin with the dress shirt and pants.
Thank you, because Kendo is the only person in this whole both nights that I don't know.
Rocky Romero a little bit leaner. Ricky Reyes a little bit more chunkier cheeks and everything as far as the Havana Pitbulls go.
Well, I'll tell you right now, it looks like Kendo and Puma aren't getting along really well here.
They're arguing over who's starting.
Kendo Kashin's going to start against Rocky Romero.
Dude, he forced Puma out.
Here's the bell.
He pushed him out like, yep, you ain't starting.
Rocky Romero getting the
tag right away, brings in Puma.
Well, there we go. I guess we're getting the tag. So Rocky Romero and Puma actually going to start this contest here. So we're going to go.
If I remember correctly, a few months down the road, Puma was kind of made an honorary Pitbull.
Ooh, looks like look at this, by the way.
That's a nice martial art kick by Rocky. The way he kicks is like the martial art style.
I was about to say, we got a little bit of an MMA standoff here. Now going into the test of strength, a little bit of wrestling now coming into play here. Ooh, nice fireman's carry. Great fireman's carry.
And again, starting things off simple with the fundamentals, very much catch as catch can, Greco-Roman takedowns and maneuvers and reversals, snapmare by Romero.
Bro, what is going on here? This am I
it's
watching
a wrestling clinic, James?
I was about to say, are we watching Benoit and Angle? What the hell did I just?
Hard to keep up, huh?
Yeah.
Just think, this was 2 nights before Angle and Michaels.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just to put in perspective.
Which was a technical
Since you mentioned Benoit and Angle, this was 2 nights before Angle Michaels, WrestleMania 21.
Which, by the way, and in its own right, was a technical clinic as well. Should have gotten 5 stars. Fuck you, Meltzer. Anyway.
Let's not even give that energy.
Nice into the wrist lock. Just able to... Over. I was about to say the step over because he's applying more pressure on the wrist as he's just putting more torque on his arm. That was brilliant psychology there.
Rocky back in now.
Yeah, now Ricky Reyes. Or no, that's
that's
Ricky
Ricky.
Reyes.
No, that's Ricky, yeah.
And now he tags in Kendo Kashin. Looks like we're going to get some Kendo Kashin and Ricky Reyes action here.
Now they're like, fucker, our turn to do this technical shit.
Mhm. And Kendo Kashin once again tagging Puma out right away, making Puma do the dirty work. Puma definitely the young boy at this time. I think TJ was only like 18 years old.
And now there's a flip
Very
off,
much a young boy in the industry. And you think about where TJP is today.
Yeah.
World traveled.
Yep.
He's killing it in Japan right now.
Yeah, he is. Part of the United Empire right now in New Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Ooh, nice Northern Lights out of the capture suplex arm ringer there, and now keeps that arm by Ricky Reyes.
One of the few times
maintaining the wrist control the whole time, to your point, James.
Yep.
Yeah. One of the few times you see a Northern not go into a pinning combo.
That was a release Northern Lights, and now I'm going to just keep that arm wrenched here. Referee going to try to go for the 5 count here. No, War Hero. We're watching PWG from 20 years ago. It's retro today. Ooh, nice jump over, leap over.
But the link is in the description if you want to follow along what we're watching. Check out the description.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah.
I would, if I were you, I would wait and queue up to the match that's after this, though, so that you're completely caught up. Otherwise, it's going to be hard to synchronize with that.
Holy lariat by Ricky Reyes. He just absolutely floored Puma.
Just like holy lariat?
Yeah, dude.
Holy lariat, Batman.
Dude, he
Holy rusted metal, Batman. The ground, it's metal. Water, it's rusted, and, full of holes, holy.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah, freaking Puma's TJP, right? Because he just got floored. Holy shit. That was ridiculous, that lariat. Rocky Romero back in. Puma able to reverse out of it into a nice drop kick.
Nice kip up, too, afterwards. The agility of Puma.
Gonna go for a
slam, trying to tag in Kendo Kashin.
And now Kendo Kashin gonna go back into things here.
Has Rocky Romero in their own corner there.
And now look at that. Looks like Puma jumps off the apron. Ooh, okay. Kendo Kashin with a nice lean back over the ropes here. Brilliant maneuver.
Almost think Puma's making sure Kendo can't tag him in right there while he was in their corner. It's like, nah, motherfucker, I've done all the work. You do something.
Right.
Yeah,
Puma, the young pup.
Kendo Kashin is showing his technical chops right now, though. I'll tell you, into the Mexican surfboard stretch, into the camel clutch. Brilliant submission wrestling there. The Brazilian wrestling arts there for Lucha Libre on display for Kendo Kashin. Nice vicious uppercuts there, showing a little bit of European strong style there. Tag back into Puma.
And Puma taking Rocky Romero to the neutral corner there. Nice European uppercut. Tying him up into the tree of woe, or trying to.
Oh, nice kicks right to the gut here. Somewhat to the side.
Little double team there. You see Kendo Kashin holding on to Rocky Romero's legs so that he can't get out of the tree of woe while Puma was kicking the midsection.
This is not going to end well here as Puma, tried to go for the hesitation drop kick, stopped short and kicks him right in the gut, or right in the balls, actually, looked like. Going for a cover. There's 2 and a kick out. Rocky Romero in a lot of trouble here. Ricky Reyes desperate to try and get into this matchup. No, different Puma. Tag in back to Kendo Kashin. Which one is TJP? That is Puma, right? Yeah, Puma.
It should be Timon and Pumbaa, huh? That would have been a team.
God damn it, Walter.
Nice. Oh, great stalling.
Have their team called Hakuna Matata?
Right?
What a wonderful phrase. Great stalling suplex and near fall by Kendo Kashin.
Oh, yes.
Great tag team psychology by the heel team tandem here of Puma and Kendo. Tag back into Puma. And now going to go for it. Looks like a, gory bomb. Gory special possibly here. TJP really showing the lucha acumen here. Puerto Rican sensation. Oh, nice counter, though, into an arm drag by Rocky Romero. Kick right to the back there by Ricky Reyes. And now it looks like we're back in control for the Pitbulls here.
Yep, nice tag there from Ricky Reyes, getting to come in, the fresh man, dishing out some punishment onto Puma. Irish whip sends Rocky Romero in, grabs the leg, trips him down. Hesitation drop kick from Reyes, catches Puma in the face.
Oh! And
now
right
got the grapefruits up against the ring post there.
Yeah, I was about to say right in the Pumas. Now we got Ricky Reyes going right after Puma, TJP, in a world of trouble here.
Right into Puma plums.
Haha, there you go.
Killing me with these puns, Walter. You think you're so punny.
Punny.
Ricky Reyes throwing Puma back in the ring, getting in before the 10 count.
Look at that. Right into a knee, right to the back, into the chin lock. Stretching TJP out here. Ricky Reyes showing his chops in the ring here.
Again, Ricky Reyes, man, where are you now? We all know what happened to Rocky Romero and Puma TJ Perkins, but Ricky Reyes is one of those that eventually fell by the wayside.
Yeah, same with Kendo Kashin. He's shown a lot of promise too. Oh, brilliant! Owen Hart. Yeah, I was about to say shades of Owen Hart with that spinning leg kick.
See, I always see those, and I think X-Pac more than I think Owen Hart personally.
That's true.
And now Rocky Romero back in with some buzzsaw-esque kicks to the back and chest of Puma.
Yeah, damn right. They're
octopus stretch there in the center of the ring. Kendo Kashin has the referee distracted. His partner is really taking a beating here.
I mean, it is smart by Kendo Kashin because if he by chance does tap out, the referee can't do anything about it. And you'll notice he turns it into a seatbelt pinning predicament here and not able to capitalize on it. That was brilliant.
What's up, Papagino? Good to see you in the chat, man.
Absolutely brilliant by Kendo Kashin to, and whether you love it or hate it, to distract the referee. Hi, Gino. How you doing?
He says he's here for you, Walter. He's here for Mr. Reliable. He's coming for you.
All right.
Mr. Reliable, we're coming for you.
Brother.
I was about to say, we can't say that
Yeah,
word.
we'll use brother instead of the other word.
Yeah.
Now look at this. Going to try to go for... Ooh, wow.
Great reversal there by Romero.
Dude, the speed on that spin. I was like, whoa.
Puma fought so hard to turn it and regain the momentum. Rocky Romero was like, nope, not today.
Just keeps it. Oh, great mule kick, though, by TJP.
To have
Puma. Puma desperate for a tag, but the Pitbulls able to stop it from happening. Ricky Reyes and Rocky Romero now stomping out Puma. Double elbow strike. Knee strike.
Offense here really coming into play from the Havana Pitbulls.
Yeah, damn right. Ooh, and again, though, Kendo Kashin. The heel tactics are absolutely coming into play here because that could have been it. That combination move looked like it might have been it for the young boy at this point in time, TJP, but Kendo was able to stop it.
He should be able to break up every pin. He's fresh as a daisy. He hasn't even joined the match.
Well, I mean, he's definitely helped his partner, though. You can't take that away from him.
Yeah, I was going to say, to be fair, while Kendo Kashin hasn't been in the match as much as Puma has, he's definitely done his fair share of offense there.
Yeah.
Tyson Seguri there rocks Ricky Reyes.
Dude, that was a martial arts kick. He did the reversal of his original kick, and he turned it into a spinning martial arts kick, dude. Wow.
Rocky Romero trying to get the fans into it so he can get the tag from Puma to Kashin, tag from Reyes to Romero.
Now here we go. Kendo Kashin now getting the crowd on his side now, going for vicious European uppercuts. Here we go.
Spamming the hell out of those European uppercuts like the Jackson spam super kicks.
Yeah, I was about to say. Ooh, nice dodge out of the leapfrog. Ooh, gonna go for a nice schoolboy roll up. Brilliant there. Almost turning into a Mahi Straw cradle variation of that. Ooh. Nice maneuvering there by Kendo Kashin. Two great pinning combinations there. And now I believe it's Rocky Romero and Kendo Kashin who are the legal men. Every PWG match taking place under Lucha rules, it seems like. Uh-oh.
Do-si-do, and around they go.
And now both guys try to go for drop kicks to Havana Pitbulls, but now a double wishbone action here by Kashin and Puma. Oh, my God.
That's something you don't see every day.
That was,
You've seen people do the wishbone and make a wish, but you've never seen a tag team wishbone another tag team so that both men are getting wished.
Yeah, I was about to say, make a wish. Now, ooh, nice Hurricane Rana there by Ricky Reyes. Or no, that was Rocky Romero.
Tag in now to Ricky.
Yep. Trying to go for a clothesline as Ricky Reyes got countered by Kendo Kashin. Nice Northern Lights by Ricky Reyes. Into a cover. There's two and a kick out by Kendo.
Nice waist, these switches.
Yeah, these switches are great.
Low blow, one-way trip to Dick Kick City.
Yep. Right in the Havanas.
Right.
And now look at that. Going right for a tag here to Puma. Now Puma going to try to go for a nice elbow strike, though. Counter there by Ricky Reyes. What the hell is that pinning combination by TJP?
He was holding his hands, right?
Yeah. That was an innovative backslide cover there. Nice tilt-a-whirl backbreaker, though, by the Havana Pitbull. And now Ricky Reyes into a nice powerbomb tilt-a-whirl. There's 2 count only. Shockingly, Puma able to kick out. That was brilliant there by Ricky Reyes.
Yeah, nice spinning sit-out powerbomb there. To your point, Rocky Romero now gets the tag, comes in.
You too, Pop Gino. Have a good one, man.
Now look at this. Going to try to go for another powerbomb here. Maybe a gory special here. Razor's Edge. Powerbomb there by TJP into a cover on Rocky Romero.
I can't believe that wasn't it.
Yeah, no shit.
Me neither.
There's a lot of different moves here that we've seen so far. Great lucha tag match here.
This is only the 4th match, by the way, y'all, out of 9.
Yeah, you know.
We're not even halfway through tonight. And you've already seen so much innovative shit.
By the way, great deadly dive there by Rocky Romero, able to toss him off the turnbuckle. There's that headbutt. Oh, he got countered. Got countered into a cravat lock. Great counter out of the headlock here. What the hell did Kendo just do there? He had it under control. He had a cravat lock on. Could have ended the match with that submission potentially and gets himself in the middle of Puma possibly winning the match for his team. Tried to go for a discus sledgehammer. Got countered with a freaking small package. There's 2. Oh, my God. How close was that? He almost just cost it for his team.
I thought that was 3.
Yeah, I did
Referee
too.
waved it off last second. Great officiating here.
Just bring back memories, JJ. You remember exactly where you were and everything?
Vaguely. Like this match, I don't have a whole lot of recollection of, but some of the other matches I do.
He just bumped into his partner out of that counter. And there's the cover. There's 3. Rocky Romero and Ricky Reyes got it.
For real this time.
Wow.
I switched it before they even did. They're moving too fast.
Yeah, right? Oh, Jesus. Okay.
And if that was something, now you get the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson versus James Gibson, Jamie Noble.
I'm so glad I put the banners in the order of the matches too. Made it easy. Bald-headed, long beard, like you said.
Not as long as I thought it was, but still beard like.
Without his girlfriend, huh?
Yep, no Nydia. James Gibson, I believe, shortly after this would become Ring of Honor champion.
Yeah, he dethroned Bryan Danielson for that honor, actually.
Bell sounds.
This is a preview of what happened in ROH then.
Nice handshake to start the bout off here.
Show of respect.
Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon isn't bigger than many of his opponents. This is a rarity here.
Yeah, exactly. Bryan Danielson looking like a beefy boy compared to Jamie Noble here.
It's like, you want a moment to breathe, gentlemen. We're not going to get it here. These two are technician master classes.
Yep.
You just saw that collar elbows takedown to snapmare to leg scissor to the break. Now we're going for the Greco-Roman knuckle lock, the test of strength here.
Yeah, I don't know how smart that. Oh, great counter there by Jamie Noble.
Was it just age or injury for him that stopped him wrestling? James.
I think
Gibson.
Age.
Okay.
I think he was getting up there.
That said, I would have loved to have seen him in a tag team with Cameron Grimes, called him Southern Justice.
Or Southern Gentleman or something, yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
And then you just put Jimmy Hart as their manager.
Exactly.
Mouth of the South.
Ooh. By the way, I love how people give so much shit for Jay Briscoe wearing, having the Confederate flag on a title belt, yet here Jamie Noble is with it on his tights.
Right.
He always
which goes to show you, by the way, folks, it was always a South didn't know thing. It wasn't because everybody was racist. Thank you. Fuck you. Bye. Oh, wow. Brilliant cartwheel out of that.
Cartwheel.
That was brilliant. And now into his own, almost like a Fujiwara armbar here, cross arm breaker. Both men showing their technical chops here.
This was vindication for Jamie Noble, James Gibson, man. After WWE kind of held him down, yeah, he was Cruiserweight champion, but he never really got to show his ability. Then he left, became Ring of Honor champion, had these type of matches with Bryan Danielson. It was vindication.
Yeah, it was. Jamie Noble, very underrated wrestler, man. Always has been.
Clean break by by American Dragon, but a little bit of a smack to the back.
But it was a light smack. If you notice, he didn't really dig his nails in and rake it.
Yeah, that was more of a hey, I see you.
Back to the collar elbow tie up, side headlock takedown.
Textbook stuff there by Jamie Noble. Danielson, though, ain't going to be caught with that. Tried to turn it into a pin cover. Jamie Noble able to roll through out of it. Now nice bounce off the ropes
into a shoulder tackle. Again, the side headlock takedown. Now Jamie Noble, James Gibson in the dominant position here.
And the American Dragon definitely in a world of trouble here when it comes to the veteran at this point, Jamie Noble.
This is wrestling and pre-neck injury American Dragon.
Yep,
yeah. You got to figure this was like 5 years before Bryan Danielson was on NXT. Back when NXT was still a game show, not actually a developmental territory.
Oh God, yeah, you had to have a coach in a game show.
And his pro was The Miz. And I'm not taking anything away from Mike Mizanin, and everybody knows how much I love The Miz. But when you compare this gentleman to The Miz, one of these things just doesn't belong here.
Right.
Honestly, they had, it was very much what the other needed at the time, though, when you really think about it.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, look at how much freaking Miz learned from Danielson. Look at how much Danielson learned from Miz. Like, really, they were. Absolutely. It really comes down to the point of opposites attract, and they went on to have a legendary feud.
He literally stole his it kicks.
Yeah, he did. Dude, he stole a lot of shit from Danielson. He became a technician, like technician. He always kind of had the IQ, but like when he started working with Brian, goddamn, did he take it to another level? I think it was
the year after Brian was his rookie.
Yeah,
Miz became WWE champion.
Yeah, and not to mention too, I mean, Jesus Christ, when you look at what the Miz is doing now, like the Miz took a lot of pointers from the American Dragon, a lot of pointers.
Yeah. And from when he did that little stint with Flair, he started using submission moves. He learned a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, man, he got a lot of pointers, man, and he's still using them to this day. It's actually kind of a shame that he's not challenging for singles gold right now.
Stuff starting to pick up a little bit here.
What to say, man? Like opposites definitely attracted.
We're gonna get a lot of reversals. I can see this coming.
Oh, yeah.
Again, this is a technician's master class. You know, when people talk about, you know, oh, you want to get into wrestling, what matches should you study? People say Flair and Steamboat. People say Brett and Shawn, the Iron Man match. People may say like Angle and Michaels. This is definitely up there as well. Danielson versus James Gibson.
Yeah, great toss out of the ring, by the way. That was a powerful toss by Danielson.
And again, you go back here to this point in time and you look at this.
Oh my God! Double axe handle by the American Dragon. Not something you see him do often. Go ahead, JJ.
I made sure to pause for that spot, but you go back and you look at this, and James Gibson is the one that's been to the dance at this point.
Yep.
Bryan Danielson at this point in his career had not. But you look at their ability, and in some ways you look at Danielson as like he's far beyond where Gibson is at this point. How was he not there yet?
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, let's just point this out as well. I mean, look at Danielson, man. He looks like a young Gabe kid. Wow, there's that back flip.
I'm kind of glad
Danielson, vintage Danielson.
Yes,
I'm glad he wasn't at the dance at that point, because they would have ruined him. Like, I'm glad he came when he came.
That's fair, but you think about the damage he did to his body in the 5 years between this and that.
Yeah,
true,
you know, he jacked up his orbital. He was supposed to be the first NWA champion after the TNA era. Promo pictures were taken of him with the 10 pounds of gold, and then he jacked up his orbital socket. Ended up being the best thing that could have happened for Scrap Iron Adam Pearce, the current Raw GM, because he got that spot after already being eliminated in the tournament and became one of the most defining NWA champions of that era. But it was supposed to be Bryan Danielson.
Look at this, by the way. Mexican surfboard stretch, another trademark of Bryan Danielson.
Eddie Guerrero made that. Well, the Guerreros made that move very famous.
But Danielson is definitely right up there, because, man, look at the way he's got this in here. Oh, man.
Now it turns it into a pinning combination, but Danielson has to be careful because his shoulders are on the mat at the same time.
Yep.
Yeah. This is April 05, right? Oh, damn.
Yeah, April 1st.
Eddie was still alive.
It was 20 years to the day, Walter. Not to the week, not to the month.
Yeah.
To the day. This was April 1st, 2005.
Yep.
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah. Eddie was still alive because he passed away in November, right?
Yeah, he would go on to have a singles match with his tag team champion partner Rey Mysterio in that Mania. Great single leg crab here by Danielson.
The only match that I think comes close to Brett versus Owen as far as greatest WrestleMania opener of all time, Eddie versus Rey from Mania 21.
Yep.
Yeah. And
so there's trademark Brian again. I have till 5.
I'll just say this, man. Like, you look at these guys and you look at what they were doing. You know, I'm glad in retrospect that they did not get called up until they did to the main roster, to WWE, to the big dance, because look at what they did with it. Look at what they did with cruiserweights, guys this size back then. But dude, man, for real, I wish Vince saw what the hell was going on here and opened his effing mind when you're seeing stuff like this. Because damn, dude, and look at that. The 1-2-3 kick by Danielson was picture perfect. Like, these guys knew the industry like inside and out. Like, this should have been, a lot of these guys should have been on the roster at this point. TNA, WWE should have been taking notes on hiring these guys. The fact that they all had to go to Ring of Honor.
Hell yeah.
Come
the
on.
one advantage, to your point, James, about them not being signed at this point is they were able to change the industry.
Yeah.
The wrestling industry would not be where it is today if these guys hadn't been on the independent circuit at this time.
Sure.
You know, again, look at Kevin Steen and El Generico. You know, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
Look at Sabin and Shelley. Look
Sure.
at Styles.
I'm
Granted, some of those guys were in TNA at the time, but because they were able to do these type of things in their downtime on the indies, they were able to cultivate a style that exists and was able to help found AEW.
Mm.
And almost get a cult following, if you will. Like,
yeah,
they,
but
they made the wrestling booming.
But that's my thing, is that, yes, while I agree that they should have been on the indies honing their craft, and God knows they could have gone a few more years in the indies, it never should have taken them as long as they fucking did to get these guys in there. That's my point. Like 07 latest for Danielson. 07 latest Danielson in there.
The buzz was definitely going around because if you think about it, there was a Bola tournament, and I forget what year it is. I could do the research here before tomorrow. But there was a Bola tournament here at PWG that had Fit Finley as a member of the tournament.
By the way, these martial arts kicks are crazy by both guys here.
And if you think about it, shortly after that Bola tournament, Hero got signed. Claudio got signed. You know, becoming Cassius Ohno and Cesaro respectively.
Yeah.
When you figure a few years from there, you had Generico and Steen get signed.
Yep.
You know, so the buzz was definitely going around. It's just a matter of the people that were in the talent relations, talent scout positions, like your Finleys, like your Regals, that went through this nickel and dime independent carny circuit to make their names before they got put on, that knew where they needed to look for the next crop of young talent.
And Vince wasn't having any of it at the time.
But
because
timing
Vince
is everything.
No, Vince was so inside his bubble, like Bruce Pritchard, like Michael Hayes,
Sean
like
Laurinaitis.
all the people, like Laurinaitis. But because these other names, like I said, Finley, Regal, made their way through that circuit, they knew where to look.
Craig Connor,
his weight there, got a 2.5 on Danielson.
Off of that Saito back suplex from the top rope. Nice neck breaker by James Gibson. Woo. Yeah, this it does aggravate me. Like, I agree with you. It just aggravates me that it took that damn long. Because again, like, I would have had a field day having these guys involved in the industry. Like,
yeah,
you know, you would have had a field day with all these guys, especially in 07, where they were starved at that point, WWE, for talent.
But timing is everything.
But
at the same time,
were they?
Yeah,
were they? That's the thing to think about. In 07, Triple H was still wrestling. Shawn Michaels was still wrestling. Edge hadn't gotten injured yet. Orton and Cena were at the top of the game. Batista was still around. There was nowhere for these guys in that card.
I was just about to make that point.
No, wrong though, and I you forget.
And they had no cruiserweight division either at that point.
No, they did.
Smaller guys.
Well, yeah, they killed the cruiserweight division, but in 06, 07, ECW was a thing. If they actually treated it serious, those guys would have fit in like a glove for ECW.
Okay, but you just said the magic words. If they actually treated it serious,
Right. Well, it just goes back to
clearly they didn't. When the first thing on ECW on Sci-Fi was a fucking zombie.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Vince McMahon, everybody.
Timing is everything, and had they gone then, they might not have been who they are now.
Butterfly suplex by Danielson.
Like I said, that's the benefit, is that they were able to help change the game at this level, so that when they got on, it was already better than when they came in.
Great butterfly
We'll
suplex.
talk about leaving the business better than they found it.
By the way, Dragon Sleeper.
It was already getting there when they got on. Go ahead, James.
Sorry, I was just saying Dragon Sleeper by the American Dragon. You have to call it. I had to say it.
Yes. Dragon Sleeper by the Dragon. And now Jamie Noble here with his counter. Nice suplex takedown there by Danielson. Danielson always looked so weird with the Mountain Man beard. Like, if you look beyond the beard at his face, dude looks like he's 15 years old, but then he's got the beard of like a fucking Grizzly Adams.
Yeah, right? The fuck?
Love you, Brian. You've always been good to me and my people, but damn, bro.
Now we got Brian gonna try to go for, oh no, the Saito suplex attempt number 2 here from the top rope.
Making sure to give a little bit more back punishment.
Jamie Noble in a world of trouble here. Gonna get all of this, it looks like. Jesus almighty Christ, he bounced like a basketball off the mat. That was a rough landing for both guys. Gonna try to crawl to the cover. Jamie Noble with his foot on the bottom rope.
Referee Rick Knox actually noticing it, making the right call. Rick Knox wasn't always a crooked official.
Uh-oh. Gonna go for the diving headbutt. Shades of the Dynamite Kid. Oh, my God. Jesus.
Damn near across the entire ring there. The air that Danielson got.
And now look at this. Jamie Noble with a running knee strike. Shades of his mentor, William Regal. And now look at this. Brain buster. Sheer drop into a cover. There's 2. And Jamie Noble barely gets a 2.5 count.
James Gibson, man. James Gibson.
It's all good. It's all good.
I'm just teasing.
I'm calling them by the names that people will know them as, just in case.
I know. I'm just teasing.
Noble trying to go for, looks like a
Texas.
Oh.
High elevation, too, it looks. No, he sits down with it well. Okay, I thought he was going to go for like the elevated cloverleaf.
Yeah.
There.
Ain't he from Virginia? He ain't Texas.
Yeah, well, you know, the Virginia cloverleaf. There you go.
The lasso from El Paso.
the lasso from Virginia. Why am I hearing Excalibur commentary?
I don't know. I noticed that too. It's a little bit of a glitch. It's like now all of a sudden the commentary's there.
Yeah, what the heck? It made me a little like, huh?
Wait, isn't Excalibur wrestling also?
He already wrestled. He was in the he was in the curtain jerker match. And yes, to Walter's point, it was done in post.
Okay. Got it. Oh, I'm gonna turn that down so we don't get claimed.
I don't think you can hear mine. The TV's kind of far in this hotel.
Yeah, same.
Now
my TV's all the way across the room here, and I've got it down on like 6 or 7 anyways.
Dragon suplex. Oh, Dragon suplex was brutal. This goes for cattle mutilation. Got all of it. Yikes.
I love that move.
The fact that he had that moveset way back then.
Jamie Noble gets the foot on the rope there. Great maneuvering and positioning.
Very smart there. What the hell is
a lot of people forget Bryan Danielson was one of the first students at the Shawn Michaels Wrestling Academy.
Mm-hmm.
So when he first was starting out, he was getting trained by the Heartbreak Kid and his staff.
Isn't he that class the reason that Sean wanted to come back and got that itch again?
Mhm. Airplane spin,
No
vintage
doubt
Bryan
about it.
Danielson.
Airplane spin. No doubt about it. There he goes.
I'm dizzy
Jeez.
watching that shit.
Right?
I'm getting dizzy watching.
It's like
Mhm.
Claudio when he does his spin.
I don't know how. I shout out any wrestler that takes that because I don't know how you don't just like taking that move.
Somebody should do that and then turn it into a TKO, like a release.
Yeah, that's what I was
TKO.
just thinking, man. Do that and hit like the F5 coming out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking hey, Wardlow, we got to move for you when you get released from AEW. Go back to WWE. Did he just drop kick the turn?
Because he's so dizzy, he didn't realize where he was. Jamie Noble fighting in air.
Okay.
Now Jamie Noble goes for the roll up on Rick Knox.
Oh no!
This
He got
hilarious.
the pin. He got the pin on Rick Knox. Jamie Noble wins the match. It's
That's
over.
how you add comedy to a match without taking away from it, though.
Ooh, nice small package there by Danielson. Another small package reversal.
See, this match has been so technically proficient, so serious, and then just that little bit of comedy adds so much to it.
Exactly.
Onions have layers, so do wrestling. Nice counter, and James Gibson with a win against Danielson. No wonder he got the number one contendership. I wonder why now.
Mm-hmm.
Next match, Quicksilver, Scorpio Sky, and Frankie Kazarian versus Joey Ryan, Scott Lost, and Chris Bosch.
So we got
Babyface Frankie Kazarian.
So we got
Quicksilver and Scorpio Sky, known as the Aerial Express. Chris Bosch and Scott Lost, known as Arrogance. Joey Ryan and Scott Lost at one point were known as the X Foundation. You see the JR on his tights there, very much in the vein of the DC logo.
I see. So we have the arrogant people versus not so SCU.
Yes.
I got you.
Long before there was an SCU, yes. And again, that Scorpio Sky there with the mask there, you can kind of see the scorpion coming down his back. That is masked Scorpio Sky.
So we have
something you guys have never seen before.
Nope.
And then Quicksilver, his partner.
This is a weird ass freaking
Silver
group.
and Scorpio.
What the
I always loved Sky's mask, man. I would love to get my hands on a Scorpio Sky mask. And then look at Frankie Kazarian with the long ponytail, the short trunks.
And now here comes Lost.
Yes, Scott Lost is going to talk. Chris Bosch there with the Superman logo and the fringe on his tights. Scott Lost now is actually doing comic books. He's a graphic designer doing artwork and graphic novels.
Oh, good for him. Who the hell is this? Is that Joey
Chris
Ryan?
Bosch. No, that's Chris Bosch.
Chris Bosch.
Like I said at the outset, man, Chris Bosch is one of those what could have been if he hadn't had to retire. Dude had the swagger about him.
I feel like you could say that a lot about people in wrestling, man. Like, I feel like a lot of these guys should have gotten another chance.
So Chris Bosch actually had a best of DVD that he put out. I actually bought it, have it autographed. It was called Lioncock, a take of the Jean-Claude movie, you know, Lionheart. But it was called yes. Don't at me, James. There used to be a fan that would come to Guerrilla, sit in the front row. Bosch and Lost would refer to him as, and I apologize, it's not politically correct. They called him Tard Boy. The bonus feature on the Lioncock DVD was a sit-down interview with them and Tard Boy, where they just murdered him in the interview. Some of the greatest comedy shit you will ever see.
I swear to God.
I know it's not PC. I know it's fucked up thinking about it 20 years later, but it is some of the greatest comedy shit you will ever see in your life.
Dare you? How dare
to
anybody?
The point where Stat Boy, my brother from another mother, Mikey, showed up one night after work when he was working at Disneyland. He was working in Adventureland at the time. They called him Indiana Tard Boy because he straight up was looking like the Indiana Jones attire. The hat, the leather jacket, the whole nine. There was supposed to be a sequel to the Lion Cock DVD where they did the same thing with him as the bonus feature, an interview with Indiana Tard Boy. Never came to fruition. This is all real shit that I'm spewing. If you doubt me, ask Jeff.
I don't doubt you.
If you doubt me, ask Stat Boy.
And
damn you guys!
Wow.
I was ordering room service, and all I hear in my ear is Tard Boy and Indiana Tard Boy. And I'm like,
who the fuck is saying Tard Boy while you're trying to get room service? Don't mind them. They're a bunch of.
No, they can't hear it because it's in my headphones. But it was. I was trying not to laugh while I'm talking to the lady.
Tard Boy.
So much good shit, man. I think he's actually going to call out Tard Boy here. I think he's at this show.
Who the fuck? So, okay. So this is a real feud. Was he like special needs or some shit, or?
I think so.
So that's why he was called.
But it's one of those things where the fan was still in on it. You know, the fan would get riled up. Yeah, he's getting out the ring right now. He's going right up to him, I think. There he is.
Tard Boy. There he is. Tard Boy. Okay.
Well, hey, I mean, Eugene was a thing in 05 in WWE, so, I mean.
And that is Tard Boy.
You might watching here. This is not okay.
It's Tism Tuesday now.
Fuck off. It's not Tism. Tism happens on a Saturday now. It's not a Tuesday. That's for tacos. All right?
Hey, it was a good segue to get you to plug your thing.
Yeah, check out my spaces. Wrestling with Tism every Saturday. What the fuck am I watching?
Dude is face to face with Bosch. He's not backing down. He's not giving an inch. You got to give him some credit here for the way he's handling himself. Because number one, how many people would buckle in that? Bosch has got the entire Jewish community center now chanting Tard Boy.
What did he say about pull-ups? I didn't really hear him because I was laughing.
I haven't turned down too much. I can't really hear the whole thing either. But it's just, you got to figure this whole time you've got the Aerial Express and Frankie Kazarian in the ring. Like, what the fuck am I dealing with? Even Joey Ryan, for as polarizing as he is now, he's just kind of there on the apron. It's all Bosch and Lost.
Oh, shit.
And it's primarily Bosch. So it's like, you got to give Joey a little bit of credit for kind of staying out of it, even though they're his partners.
Dude.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, this is funny. This is before everybody became so damn sensitive.
That's what I'm saying. It was a different time. It's 20 years ago. It wasn't right then, but it wasn't as wrong as it is now, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because to Walter's point, in 2005, 2006, Eugene was a thing. Eugene was about to get his ass handed to him in 2 nights by Muhammad Hassan and Davari, to the point where Hulk Hogan came out for the save.
Mm-hmm.
That's the time we're living in professional wrestling. Let's keep that in perspective as we watch this.
I remember. And now I just seen his tag team partner scream at another dude. Well,
Frankie's Kazarian going to the outside, Sky to the outside. It looks like Quicksilver is going to start things with Chris Bosch here in the ring.
My brain can't get that image out of my head now.
And there's the bell.
Oh, fucking goddamn Excalibur. I don't need to hear you. Yeah, my brain
tie up here from Quicksilver and Chris Bosch.
My brain fried. My brain just fried.
It's okay, buddy.
I can't believe what I just seen.
Nice roll through there by Bosch. Leg grapevine there for a little submission maneuver. Come on, James.
Huh?
Come on, James. Focus.
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 It's one thing to talk shit and not be able to back it up, but this is your introduction to Lost and Bosch. Pay attention, man. These guys are actually good.
Lost and Bosch, you pissed me off.
They're heels. They're supposed to. They're old school heels.
They harassed a fan. He was being a fan, and
this is the same guy that used. This is the same guy that used the model Rick Martel's music.
One of my
so he's a very old school mentality heel. Look at the fringe.
That's fair.
Photogenic Chris Bosch getting chopped by Quicksilver here. Irish whip reversal by Bosch. Going for the wheelbarrow is Quicksilver. Nice reversal into the pinfall. Roll through. Kip up by Bosch into a side headlock.
Okay. Damn.
Bosch doing some moves.
Bosch able to have some great reversals, actually. Quicksilver actually showing some promise as well. Ooh, tried to go for a gory special. Got counted into a roll through. Everybody's so tactically proficient. Why is it? I guess I should say, am I wrong? Is this the golden era of PWG? Because to me, it feels like it. Because anytime I think of PWG, is basically the shit we got now in AEW, which is the Young Bucks version of PWG.
That's debatable. I mean, this was my era of PWG, and you figured PWG was not even a 2-year-old company at this point.
Right.
So this is like the genesis of PWG. I would say that the golden era probably came a few years later, but this is what I look back fondly at. The Young Bucks weren't even a thing yet.
Yep.
And I don't want to paint the picture. Tagging took Scorpio Sky, by the way, coming in first real look at Sky masked up.
Yeah.
I don't want to make it sound like the Young Bucks ruined PWG, because they didn't. They were solid heels that did their part and, helped elevate tag team wrestling and presented a style that we obviously see was influential, that's used today. Nice head scissor takedown by Sky.
Yeah.
But I think when everybody's tried to copy that is when the industry got watered down.
Yep.
Leapfrog by Sky into a drop kick. And again, pay attention, particularly to when Sky and Lost are in the ring, Lost in there right now. As like I said at the outset, this match kind of spawned a feud that would go throughout the remainder of the year here.
Ooh, great reversal.
Nice up and over there by Sky, duck down, drop salt almost by Scott Lost.
Very, very well done there by both guys here. Scott Lost tag into his tag partner, Chris Bosch.
No, that's Joey Ryan coming in now.
Joey Ryan is the dude in the singlet. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Joey Ryan has the singlet and the full pants. Lost has the singlet and the shorts. Again, both men used to be a team called the X Foundation.
I see.
Which is how they kind of came together as a trio here, because Lost and Bosch were teaming, and Lost and Ryan had history, so they kind of formed a trio here.
Yeah.
Frankie Kazarian in now for the baby faces. Joey Ryan in. Kazarian winding up on Joey Ryan, the technical wizard.
Say that again. Wow. Frankie Kazarian coming in for the baby faces. That's not a sentence you hear anymore.
Right? Nice pinfall attempt there by Kazarian. Gets a 2 count on Ryan. Joey trying to go for a tag, but he's in the wrong corner there.
Yeah, back then he currently he's the king of TNA. He was the future of the industry back then.
Yep. Nice pump kick there by Kazarian, dropping Joey Ryan to the mat. Goes for the pinfall attempt, hooks the leg. Scott lost in to break it up.
Back before Joey Ryan did dumb dick spots.
Again, so if you want to go by that type of logic, yes, this was the glory days of PWG.
Yep.
But some people would consider the era of PWG that gave us the Young Bucks versus Joey Ryan and Candice LeRae as the glory days of PWG.
By the way, Chris Bosch with a shot right to the nuts.
Yes. Again, lion cock.
Oh.
So into his little lion cubs.
Right into the futures.
So it's still about dicks. The whole gimmick is still about dicks even then.
Trying to make his future his past.
Oh, fucking.
No presents for the future.
I guess so.
The baby face. Look at this, yo. God dang.
Baby face Kazarian.
And again, Frankie Kazarian freaking 20 years younger.
Yeah,
Mhm.
SoCal legend, even at this point. I
Mhm.
believe he was the inaugural PWG champion and a two-time champion for PWG at this point.
Again. Shot right to the back, lower back here.
Bosch tagging in Joey Ryan. Joey Ryan back in now with Frankie Kazarian. Joey Ryan, of course, would go on to TNA as part of the TNA Gut Check, have a nice rivalry with Taz and Al Snow there.
Mhm.
It was a great drop kick, by the way, by Joey Ryan.
Yeah, that was high, too.
Mm-hmm.
Here comes Scott Lost for a little bit of illegal activities. Referee didn't see it, doesn't know there wasn't a tag. Just has to take the word for it.
I was going to say, but he lets it go. What was that, a water bottle?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was. What the fuck?
Chris Bosch grabbing the water bottle there that had fallen into the ring there.
To be fair,
he's thinking about Frankie Kazarian. You don't want to land on that thing.
I was about to say, yeah. I mean, hey, listen, that was the only botch I've seen all night. In fairness, like legitimately, I don't think I've seen one botch this whole fucking show. I mean, fair enough, it is a taped show, but again, like I haven't seen any hard cuts. Ooh, that was a brilliant maneuver there. Chris Bosch into a drop toe hold into the knee on a Chris Bosch. Why the fuck? Can people watch back this era of PWG and just study this shit? Like, if AEW is at least gonna fucking get, like, I like PWG, I'm a mark for PWG. At least watch the fucking this shit. Like, because, oh my God, there's innovation, there's psychology, there's proper grappling here. This is what you should be watching. Take notes.
That was a nice double team move.
That was brilliant.
The chemistry between Bosch and Lost was next tier.
Yeah.
If AEW had existed at this point, I bet you they would have been AEW tag champions.
Yeah, I agree.
They weren't going to make it to the E. Their shtick was too X-rated for WWE, or at least R-rated.
Yeah.
But AEW, man, they could have been tag champions. TNA, they could have been tag champions. The fact that they never got an actual shot at TNA, at least, is crazy to me.
Yeah, that's just a simple
I believe
move.
Scott Lost won a Super 8 or a Super Junior tournament around this time as well.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
Scott Lost in now with Frankie Kazarian, unloading some right hands, backs Frankie into the corner. Irish whip sends him into the other corner. Scott Lost with a torpedo.
Wow, that was a brilliant spear into the corner. The torpedo. Wow. Okay. Yeah. I appreciate doing this, but at the same time, I look at this and I'm like, I'm pissed. Because, like, why aren't you watching stuff like this back then? You know what I mean? Like, because now I have a whole new appreciation for PWG pre-Bucks. I'm going to be honest.
Nice scoop slam from Chris Bosch on the Frankie Kazarian.
Ooh.
Fist drop to the dome.
Very DiBiase-esque, that fist drop.
Tag into Joey Ryan.
Before he became some weird 70s dude in TNA. Ooh, great counter there by Frankie Kazarian. Ryan able to counter there. Goes into his own electric chair position. And Frankie Kazarian just smashing right up top the Chrome Dome here. Uh-oh. Doomsday Device drop kick. Oh, no! But it turned into a Poison Rana accidentally. And that just hurt Joey Ryan. Uh-oh.
Great offense. Great tag team offense here by the X Foundation.
Yeah, except the problem is that offense inadvertently hurt their partner, Joey Ryan.
Yeah, but who's worse for wear? Look at Frankie Kazarian. Joey Ryan's closer to his corner. Roll through from Kazarian, gets the tag. Tag from Joey Ryan.
Uh-oh.
Arrogance and Aerial Express both in the ring now.
There we go. Wow. Nice double kick there. Oh, I wonder where we've seen that before. Hi, 2K. How you doing? Or actually, SmackDown versus Raw. How you doing? Oh, what the hell? Casadora into an Insecurity before he even completed the Bulldog. That was innovative again by Quicksilver and Sky. Oh! Freaking wheelbarrow Faymaster combination. Nice super kick, though. Great break up there by Joey Ryan. Oh,
Scorpio Sky with a nice drop kick to the mush of Joey Ryan.
Yeah, I was about to say, that was a Shining Wizard almost. That's basically what that was.
Kazarian bringing Scott Lost in now. Kick to the midsection from Lost.
Ooh.
Step over in Seguri there, rocks Kazarian.
Yeah, nice Trouble in Paradise spinning kick. Chris Lost really showing his wrestling acumen here. Now looks like
Lost known as the professional back in these days.
Yeah, he's definitely showing how professional he's being here. Though. This is where it always gets dangerous. Gonna possibly go for a Tower of Doom. This is not looking good here.
Walter's favorite spot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. And Frankie Kazarian takes the worst out of all of it.
Yep, he was the one that got the vertical suplex there. Standing ovation from the fans here in the sweat box after that athleticism.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So, by the way, now that we have a bit of a breather here, I gotta say, was there ever a gorilla in Pro Wrestling Guerrilla?
No.
Oh, makes me sad.
No.
You would think they would.
Freaking James, you idiot.
Hey, listen, I have to ask the hard questions here.
Damn it, James, you freaking idiot.
Well, Walter just said that, but yes.
I know. I didn't hear the damn it part, so I had to reiterate.
That's fair.
Yeah,
all
to be
six
fair,
men barely getting to their feet now.
Here we go.
Joey Ryan, Chris Bosch sent up and over by AXP.
And now Quicksilver and Sky looking to go airborne here.
It's like, how do they name him Quicksilver and he doesn't have any silver on?
No, there's silver on his mask.
Yeah, I
it is?
that.
It's just sliding. It kind of flushes it out. But he's got silver on the mask.
So Aerial Express takes to the skies for a double taker dive, but I think Quicksilver, smashed his knee on the chair. That was a bad hit. Oh my God! Look at him clutch his knee here. That was a rough go here.
He immediately clutched it.
Yeah, that was a bad landing for Quicksilver, dude. Wow.
Quicksilver throws Bosch into the ring here, trying to bring the action back in.
Maybe it was Scorpio Sky. I thought it was Silver.
Hooks the leg, 2 count. Bosch barely kicks out. You see Sky on the outside there, trying to use the ropes to pull himself up. Joey Ryan smashes his head into the mat.
Yeah, I think he's at this point. I think Sky just got hurt, and now that may have just bought him some time here. He is really badly hurt. That was a rough landing for Sky.
How long was this gimmick of Sky having a mask?
For a while. He had it for a good chunk of his career. He ended up losing it later this year.
Oh, great pile driver by Quicksilver.
Looks like the glitch is over and we don't have the commentary anymore. That's good. Joey Ryan breaks up the pinfall.
I'm happy.
Yeah, but at this point, Sky pretty much had the mask from his debut until I want to say July of this year.
Oh,
It ended up being a titles versus mask match between AXP and Arrogance.
What? A tornado pedigree from... Did I see that right?
Yep.
That was a tornado pedigree from Joey Ryan.
Joey Ryan is better than people give him credit for. He just used a stupid gimmick to get over. Nice pop-up head scissors takedown from Sky there.
Yeah.
Scott lost kick to the midsection here.
And now going to try to go for a pump handle. Driver got all of it. Chris Lost going to try to go for a maneuver here. Frankie Kazarian with Chris Lost. German suplex attempt. Got countered by Lost into a bridging German of his own. There's a cover and a kick out at one, I believe, by Kazarian.
No, there's a Scott lost. Scott lost and Chris Bosch.
I'm surprised that he didn't go for cover after that move. He just kind of... That was a lost opportunity.
Mm-hmm. but it ended up being a titles versus mask match, Arrogance versus AXP. AXP won the titles, but because Scott was such a vicious heel, he bloodied and ripped Sky's mask off anyways.
Wow.
Jumping super kick from Kazarian dropped Scott Lost on the top rope there.
Jesus Christ.
Kazarian climbing to the outside, going to the top rope.
Dude, are you kidding me?
Who remembers old school Kazarian?
Oh, no way. Flux capacitor from the top rope into the crowd of wrestlers and their manager. Whole crowd on their feet. Holy shit, shits ran out in the sweat box.
That's babyface Kazarian.
The flux capacitor, man. I miss the flux capacitor. I wonder if Frankie could still even hit that move.
PWG chants now raining down.
Because AJ has talked in interviews about how he can't even do some of the innovative stuff anymore. He said he hasn't done the spiral tap since like 2014, maybe even 2012. He hasn't been able to get the revelations and the rotations.
I was going to say, maybe Frankie could hit it, but it's getting up. That's the problem now.
Yeah,
Dino Winwood on the outside in green. That's AXP's manager, to your point.
Frankie getting cheered here by the audience here. The future in full control.
Throwing Scott Lost back into the ring.
Yeah, this is not good for the
Frankie
DC
has him set up. Going for the wave of the future. Counter. Frankie gets out of the way. Chris Bosch accidentally clotheslines his partner.
Oh, no.
Setting Scott again. Wave of the future. DDT combination. Goes for the pinfall on Bosch.
That's over.
3. That is it.
Brilliant. Brilliant matchup.
I will be right back, gentlemen.
Wow. And now, oh, wow, we're getting some heel tactics here. Uh-oh. They mad. They big mad. The DC boys big mad. Oh, no.
I try to switch just as fast as them, and they do some after-match beat-up.
The first time, yeah. I was about to say, you know what we should do? I don't know if JJ paused his thing.
Uh-huh.
Did he pause?
No, he did.
Probably not. No, he probably did.
He probably did.
If he did, then we should probably run an ad.
I don't think he paused it.
Oh, shit. Nice stunner.
He would have told us to pause it.
God damn, what a stunner. Oh, wait a minute. Who the hell are these guys? Is that... Oh, that's Chris Sabin.
Yeah, that's Chris Sabin.
Who the hell is the other guy? What's the other guy's name? We need
I can't see it. It almost looks like AJ Styles, but I can't.
It's not Styles. Who the hell is that? One of them is Sabin.
I know Sabin, but I can't really see the other guy.
Oh, it's Petey. Petey Williams and Chris Sabin. Uh-oh. Canadian Destroyer! He didn't get to see it. What do you mean, JJ? Canadian Destroyer!
Well, he probably didn't want to ruin spoil the future part of it.
That's fair. So, JJ, were you still playing that? Because we just saw Petey Williams hit the Canadian Destroyer.
Yes.
He's not back in the headset yet.
I am.
You saw that live. It was just after the match, basically. Should we pause here before we get to the Alex Shelley Daniels match so we can run an ad?
No, this match is already kind of doing the introductions. Let's do it after this match.
Makes sense. Okay.
As soon as the graphic pops up for the next match, pause it, and then we can do an advertisement because that'll be the semi-main and the main.
Makes sense. Okay.
The Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels, baby.
Yeah.
SoCal legend, even already at this time.
Yeah. The first ever indie journeyman. A lot of people forget about that when it comes to Christopher Daniels.
There's a look at that belt that's behind JJ now.
Yep.
How beautiful it looks wrapped around his waist. Going against Alex Shelley, who was still fairly fresh in TNA at the time.
Yeah, and this is for the X Division Championship. Christopher Daniels, Alex Shelley about to put on a clinic, especially for the X Division title at this point.
And not to give away spoilers, but I think everyone can already figure out the outcome of this match because you're not going to do an X Division title change at an independent show like this. So just throwing that out there. Anybody here who's got their hopes up for an Alex Shelley victory?
Why would you do that in an independent?
Collar elbow tie up. Daniels
people to the next show.
Wow.
It's a 2-night show. So who's to say that Shelley couldn't have won it here, then lost it back to Daniels the next night?
That's true.
You know what I mean? It's like, and TNA wouldn't recognize it, but it would be kind of like the Ric Flair thing, how he's really a 21-time champion, but only gets recognized as 16.
Yeah.
Shelley would have won it, but because they wouldn't recognize it, and because Daniels gets it back the next night, they would act as if the reign was never interrupted. But the live crowd would get to see a title change.
Again, just showing the technical wizardry. It seems like PWG back then was very much into the technical style. I mean, can't imagine why not when you look at a guy like Alex Shelley, who was very much in the clique of Ring of Honor's Austin Aries, Roderick Strong, that whole faction of people.
At this point in time, I would say PWG was very much akin to the original ECW, just without all the extreme. You had your technicians, you had your luchadors, you did occasionally have your big hardcore matches. Again, we had title versus mask matches, we had cage matches. We had what was called guerrilla warfare matches.
Yeah, man.
So there's your extreme aspect of things right there.
Yeah.
But very much a OG ECW where you had a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Nice, even smorgasbord, if you will. And we always joked that we were Ring of Honor West. Because Ring of Honor wasn't really traveling at that point, and if they were, they weren't coming to the West Coast.
Yeah.
But much like TNA, we were seeing stars of Ring of Honor.
Great pinning combination by Shelley, man. Like, that whole mat exchange between these two is phenomenal. Like,
and it's hard to believe, going back and looking at it, that guys like Sabin, Shelley, AJ, Kazarian are still going to this day 20 years later.
Yep. Great drop hold counter.
Like literally.
And still at the top of their game. AJ, Sabin, and Shelley all in WWE. Daniels just retired this year after that match against Hangman Adam Page. Kazarian back in TNA. Joe in AEW. Daniels just retired last year. Petey Williams and Jamie Noble, agents for the WWE.
Now look at that. Brainbuster incoming here. Stalling Brainbuster possibly for...
Not only that, Kazarian, for all intents and purposes, is about to be a champ again.
Right?
For the first time ever.
Well, yeah, because back here the PWG title wasn't recognized as a world title. That would happen later this year when they would go to Europe and Germany for the first time.
Yep.
And then it got the distinction of being a world championship. But at this point, when Kazarian had won it his 2 times, it wasn't a world title yet. So you're right.
Dude, what a crazy, crazy thing, man. And you look at Shelley now, and him and Sabin won every single type of tag team championship in the modern day era. TNA.
Shelley's a former world champion as well.
Yeah.
He was a TNA champion. So was Sabin.
Yeah, TNA World Tag Champion, NWA World Tag Champion, Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champion, WWE World Champion.
I believe they had the IWGP as well.
Yep, never open weight as well. Never. I think it was the NJPW Strong Open Weight Tag Champions as well in Japan. Like they won a lot of gold, a lot of different places.
And
then
Motor
the
City
WWE.
Machine Guns, one of the elite tag teams in the business to this day.
Yeah.
That's why WWE wanted him so much. Nice exploder suplex there by Daniels to Shelley. Shelley really selling it there, feeling the effects. Notice the way he has his legs grapevine on the bottom rope, so Daniels can't go for a pinfall attempt.
Just brilliant psychology again. Just little things, man, that are missing in nowadays wrestling.
And compared to Daniels, Shelley is still a rookie at this point.
Yeah.
Daniels had already been in the business for close to 10 years, had wrestled in ECW, WWF, and WCW.
Wow. Cradle, twist, and shout neck breaker.
And we wonder why Daniels had neck problems. I mean,
right?
All that on his head and neck, yeah. But wow, that was clean, that move. That was clean.
And Daniels, no stranger to masked gimmicks either, having paraded around Japan as Curry Man. Look familiar, Walter?
Yeah.
I wonder
doesn't look near as attractive when Stephanie Vaquer does it, but 20 years later, that move's still being utilized.
Oh wait, I gotta do the Booker, even though it's not Stephanie. Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, dog.
Nah. He goes during this one.
Because he's imagining that he's in there.
Yeah, well, Charmel might not be too happy about that. Nice elbow strike there for Sabin.
Alex Shelley.
Sorry,
Alex. It's okay. You get a little carried away there.
Yeah, I'm still thinking of.
To our point earlier, though, timing is everything. Because imagine Motor City Machine Guns signed earlier in WWE. They probably would have got ruined because their tag division is like, it's good that they're there now, because they could have probably got their legacy ruined signing too early.
The innovator of the Trap Yourself was actually Alex Shelley. Hey, Zack Sabre Jr., I know where you got it from. God damn.
Did you count how many times Shelley bumped off the ropes there before hitting Daniels with that drop kick?
Yeah. That was brutal.
Freaking hotels, dude. They gave me all this fancy stuff for a freaking root beer. Like, really? With this glass, and look, the cart. All I ordered was like hummus, vegetables, and chips, and they bring this cart. Like, I ordered a freaking filet mignon with like.
Hey, listen,
chanting fallen angel.
Listen, why not be treated like a king? You knock yourself out, bro.
Right. Might as well. I'm not a soda guy. I'm like, fuck it, I'm here. Let me try some root beer. I never drink soda.
Nice shots right to the gut. Again, worked punches like that are less common nowadays.
Did you see the way Shelley was kicking the inner thigh muscle?
Yeah, brilliant.
Daniels trying to Charlie horse him up.
Yeah, that was brilliant. And look at those jabs by Daniels. Very Muhammad Ali-esque. Oh, nice blockbuster. Running blockbuster there by Shelley.
God, I just shocked my system. I remember why I don't drink soda. Oof.
Nice
Looks
cover.
the leg, gets the 2 count there, does Shelley.
Damn.
It's the thing about independent wrestling is you only have like 2 referees on the card. Rick Knox in here yet again. Means he'll be there for the main event because they keep alternating between him and the other referee.
Why do I feel like he has more emotion here than he does right now in AEW?
It's because back here he was doing it because he loved it. Now he's got the soul sucked out by doing it for a paycheck.
I was just gonna say now it's just a paycheck.
Yeah, probably.
Nowadays he's like, oh look, another moonsault.
That, and I'm sorry, and I'm not trying to clown Noah. If you watch this back, I'm not trying to clown. But when you've got a referee like Aubrey Edwards who over exaggerates her in-ring movements, you kind of got to undersell some shit to try to balance it out.
I was about to say I don't think two wrongs make a fucking. I don't think two negatives make a positive in that case. I don't know what you're talking about. You got Aubrey being over animated and Bryce being over animated, and then you got Rick Knox being under animated. I don't know about that one, Doc.
That's because Knox is just looking like, oh look, he's bleeding again. That's not new.
Like I refereed Joey and Candice versus the Young Bucks. I've seen women blood pouring out of their skulls before. This is nothing to me.
Right?
I've refereed guerrilla warfare matches. I've refereed steel cage matches.
Right? Oh look, another moonsault. Oh,
why does Rick Knox look different too? By the way, because Rick Knox looks like he actually
years
has some.
Ago.
Bro, did he have no? I mean this though. Like, look at his face now and compare it to back then. Like, is he into plastic surgery or some shit?
I don't know. It's been years since I've seen him.
Yeah, he turned it from the Silicon Valley to the Silicon Valley. You know what I'm saying?
Back in these days, we called him Baby Kane, and he legit would walk over and step over the top rope to get into the ring for the matches.
Of course, he would.
JJ has played it up. JJ has some inside stuff, but he's not his damn doctor, James. He's not gonna know.
Great pop-up powerbomb by Daniels. Innovator of
Daniels calling for it, says that's it. No, he's gonna be looking for the Angels wings here now.
Ooh, wait a minute.
Uranagi.
Oh,
best moonsault ever.
Like JJ's gonna pop out of nowhere. You're like, yeah, so in 2007, Dr. Chris Adams, like, he went and
put some silicone in the face.
Got some fillers in his cheek
of Rick Knox. Yeah. Hey, listen, Rick Knox
there.
Rick Knox changed it from the Silicon Valley to the Silicone Valley. You know what I'm saying?
Kelly with the frog splash connects, hooks the leg, gets a 1-2, 2.5 count.
Not bad. Frog splash by Shelly. Great.
He had to reach deep to kick out, though. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm. I always love seeing Daniels hit the BME, though, man. Then you look at Tiffany Stratton with the prettiest moonsault ever, and you can just appreciate it even more knowing where she got it from.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, wow. Going to try to go for the key crusher, it looked like. It did Alex Shelley. Nice front jawbreaker there by Daniels. Nice enziguri to follow that up. Going to try to go for Blue Thunder Bomb by Daniels.
Ooh, only a 2 count. Once again, still can't get a 3 with a Blue Thunder Bomb even 20 years ago, Noah. Don't at me. Daniels. Don't come at me, bro.
Not even Daniels can do it.
Nope. And what's crazy is we still have the main event with El Generico. I'm pretty sure he's going to hit it too.
Mm-hmm.
That's at least the second Blue Thunder Bomb we've seen tonight. And now, I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure El Generico is going to hit one too. That's 3 on the same show.
Mm-hmm.
But 3 Blue Thunder Bombs in 9 matches means you're doing once every 3 matches, not every match.
Seatbelt by Shelly. Woo, that was different. Okay.
Almost stole it there.
Yeah, he did. Nice counter into a nice roll through. Ooh, great jackknife there by Daniels. Great roll through there by Shelly. Nice savant kick right to the gut by Shelly.
Right into the running forearm by Daniels.
Oh, seatbelt by Daniels this time. Almost got.
He got it.
He did get it.
He got him.
No Angels wings.
There you go.
So you didn't get to see the Angel wings in person?
Not this time.
Oh shit. I put my phone to charge and it's way over there. We're about to pause it, right? Damn.
That was a great match. God
Daniel's
damn,
setting up his match for night 2 right here.
Look who's involved. Of course, it's a great match.
Yeah, that's true. Young Shelley and, well, young-ish Christopher Daniels. He was a veteran even by this point.
Right?
Mhm. He's talking about everything he's done in SoCal. 12 years he's been in the business at this point.
Dude, that's so crazy.
Been in TNA for 3 years.
So he's been in the business for 32 years now?
At this point, if he said 12 years, that means he got in the game in 93.
God damn.
32 years in the business.
Dude has been around legitimately since the New Generation era.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And like I said, by the time he got to TNA, he had already competed in WWF, WCW, and ECW.
Indie journeyman, man.
And then he got to TNA and really kind of took off from there.
Awesome shit. It's history and a battle right here, folk.
He's basically issuing an open challenge here to whoever wants to step up for night 2 to take a shot at him in the X Division title.
Absolute swerve. Tard Boy accepts.
Damn it, James.
Oh, shit.
No, but look at who's going to accept. We saw one Chris versus Chris for night 1. We're getting another Chris versus Chris for night 2.
Oh, shit. All right.
I was going to say, Swerve JJ comes out of the crowd and accepts the challenge.
JJ Williams versus Christopher Daniels. I can see it now.
Now, see, 5 years later, when we were doing shit with Battleground, I might have been able to get away with that because they would let me in the ring. They would let me bump around. They would work with me, one of the guys. I might have been able to pull that off then. Here, now, my first night in PWG, no. Let's keep in mind, gentlemen, and here's another name for you. I don't remember if he was at this show, but shortly after this, I started to see one Willie Mack in the crowd at PWG. Where is Willie Mack today?
Yep.
Where have we seen him, former X Division champion, following the path here of Christopher Daniels? Been on AEW, Ring of Honor.
Yep.
Current JCW champion, I believe.
Yep. Currently a part of the Ring of Honor roster and should be a freaking champion. Think he's technically in AEW? Don't know. Don't.
So I'm just saying, like, right around this time, I would start seeing young Willie Mack come into shows and became his friend.
It's crazy, man. It's just so crazy, like, seeing them set up a match that, like, happened 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So nuts.
This is professional.
And pause.
And pause. All right. Whoo-wee! What a show so far. We need to make our own damn commercial break, folks.
Right? We've only got 2 matches left. My counter says 209.54.
Mine's 209.56, so I'll get back to 54. There we go. I'm at 209.54. Yay! Did it.
But I mean, go ahead and bring the graphic down real quick, Walter.
Sure.
I mean, we're taking this little commercial break anyways. I'm kind of curious your guys' thoughts before we go into the semi-main and main event. Keep in mind, we're about to see the Samoan submission machine, Samoa Joe versus the phenomenal AJ Styles. Winner gets a shot at the champion come night 2, and we still have the title match to see who's going to be champion going into night 2.
Mm.
So, like, what are you guys thinking after 7 matches so far?
Brilliant. Like, yeah, just a lot of this psychology, a lot of the reasoning for things, again, just missing from today's wrestling. I feel like, unless, you know what I mean? Like, because some people just don't want to go too technical and too high paced. That's WWE. And then AEW just goes way too much with the freaking high flying with no rhyme or reason. You look at this, and it's like the perfect blend of both.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I seriously, like, I have a whole new appreciation for PWG around the Sweatbox era, because like it is when you look at their psychology and you look at the people that were involved in the psychology of things, there ain't a lot of bad guys here. Like, there's a lot of talent here that's showcased that know how to wrestle, know the psychology of wrestling, know how to tell a story here in wrestling. Like, I'm not even saying that, like, there's a lot of these guys that showed they should have been in WWE with the psychology they had. You had a lot of the cruiserweight guys, cruiserweight influence of like Dean Malenko's, your Perry Saturns, your Chris Benoit's, your Rey Mysterios, your Eddie Guerrero's, like Psychoses. Like, even back then, like, the stuff that they were doing was innovative. I feel like they took what they saw from WCW Cruiserweight Division and even ECW's like three-way dances, international three-way dances, and they just kind of perfect it here.
Yep, with fucking Tajiri and Super Crazy and Little Guido and even Mikey Whipwreck to a certain extent.
Yes, like Little Guido should be, like, he would be a shoo-in for this. Would have had some belters with the likes of Danielson, Jamie Noble, and
the RVD Jerry Lynn type of rivalries and matches.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it was very much it was very eye-opening. Again, there was a lot of moves that I've seen too. I haven't seen ever done before in wrestling, and I'm wondering why the hell they're not done now. And, you know, so there's some simple shit, complex shit. Overall, just good fucking pro wrestling. And, like, at a time where, you know, you think you've seen it all, and then you see a freaking rinky-dink bingo hall Sweatbox, Jewish Community Center is putting on even more innovative stuff here. It's like, man, WWE missed a bolt on signing a lot of these guys later on, because it would have added a whole new dimension. We might be looking at a new industry if they signed them earlier, and Vince didn't close his freaking mind. You know what I mean? Like that. When you look at this, like that's all I could think of. It's like, damn.
Fair enough, Walter.
I loved it.
Pretty much ditto, but like, how many watch-alongs have we done? I've never said I miss actually physically doing wrestling until I saw this. Like, it takes me back into that environment. Like,
same.
I miss this kind of shit. Yeah.
Same. Like I said, man, at the outset, this was when we were the most active in our Fed, the LBWA, the Long Beach Wrestling Alliance. And it was this era right here, man. I was a sponge for everything. I was absorbing everything that I could and trying to adapt styles and moves and whatnot. Now, you got to figure, I'm 5'10", 5'11". You know, back then I was about 220. At my lightest, 215. At my heaviest, 230 in that era. So, like, even though I could technically qualify as a cruiserweight, I didn't have that speed and agility.
No.
So I had to try to find a way. I was more of like your Samoa Joe. Kind of thicker build, stocky. And I had to try to find what worked for me. And I wasn't seeing those guys on TV. Because Joe hadn't debuted in TNA yet.
Yep.
You know, if we're being quite frank, I think this match might have been part of what the catalyst was to get him signed to TNA. Seeing the way he worked with AJ.
I bet. I wouldn't doubt it in a second. Like, Because is this the first match they would ever have against each other? By the way,
I'm not sure if they met in Ring of Honor before this or not, but I'm pretty sure this was the first time in Guerrilla they at least had a one-on-one.
And Samoa Joe is on his. Is he on his record-breaking Ring of Honor World Championship run?
I think so.
AJ probably called Dixie or whoever was running the company at the time right after this match. It was like, I got somebody you need to sign.
Who dethroned Joe? Wasn't it Jamie Noble that dethroned Joe? Because I know Punk never did.
I thought it was Danielson. No, was it really Jamie Noble?
I don't remember.
Maybe.
It damn sure wasn't Danielson. Or I'm sorry, CM Punk. It damn sure wasn't Punk.
Because Punk and Joe's trilogy ended without Punk capturing it from Joe.
Mm-hmm.
I remember there was a match between it was Kenta Kobashi and Samoa Joe, which was absolutely off the chain. Like, such a good match. Yeah, man. Like, all in all, it's a glowing review here tonight, folks. From something 20 years ago.
Austin Aries.
Yep, that makes sense.
Joe.
That makes sense. Yep.
So at this point, Aries was the Ring of Honor champion. Because he had dethroned Joe in December of 2004, lost it to Punk in June of 2005. So Punk hadn't completely left the Indies yet. But like I said, his last Guerrilla show was the March show.
That's right, because he was the person he actually defeated to start the Summer of Punk that year, actually. Yep.
And then Jamie Noble took it from Punk, and then Danielson beat Jamie Noble.
Mm-hmm.
And then I believe Punk on that very show where Noble had his title defense, it was CM Punk and Colt Cabana at that time.
I believe so. I believe you're right.
Yeah.
So Austin Aries was the Ring of Honor champion at this point.
Wow.
And not Joe. Joe's reign had ended 5 months prior.
Dude, what a crazy
again
here.
That was professional wrestling at the time. We did pause for a quick commercial break.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and run the trailers real quick.
Yes.
Run both of them.
Give me a chance.
We'll run the watch along trailer, and then we'll do the La Princesa trailer.
Sounds right.
Come back and do the plug after that. Do you want me to control the trailers, Walter? Are you still eating?
No, I'm not eating anymore, but you can control that.
All right, James, feel free to run to the bathroom real quick. I will do the two trailers. They add up to almost 3 minutes. So you got a few minutes. And yes, I just said 3 minutes. We'll be
Remember what happens if you shake it more than twice, James.
And now for a taste of things to come.
Get it? Got it. Bueno.
I need to be the best at everything.
Yeah, number one. Hustle from the start. Aim to be the best. Ain't no excuses, we go on. Every single day we winning, 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 winning.
Get it? Got it. Bueno.
Yeah, number one. Yeah, number one. Yeah, number one. Hustle from the start. Aim to be the best. No excuses, we go hard. Every single day we winning, 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 winning. Every
Get it?
single day we winning, winning,
Got it.
winning, 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 winning.
Bueno.
And of course, that is the big thing we've got coming here across the Simply Reliable Studios this Friday, April 4th, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 Eastern. We will be welcoming La Princesa Tiffany Nieves to the shenanigans. So gracious with her time. She is allowing us to interview her. Looking forward to that.
Gonna be nice.
Yeah, I saw this pop up. Daniel, I want to just remind you guys now, remind Daniel and remind everybody in the chat. Only way your questions are going to be answered is if they get super chatted.
Yeah.
We're not being given a whole lot of her time. I'm working on questions that I want to ask her, ways that I want to guide the conversation. We're only going to ask her your guys' questions if they are super chatted. So I hope you guys understand in advance. Once she departs the show, we'll go into normal shenanigans. As long as it's a good question, we'll answer it. You know the way we do. But while we have her time and her presence, we're only going to be addressing super chatted questions.
Yep.
And I'm still bopping to the song.
Right? Again, shout out to Joey Els for the music. His song number 1, that is her theme song on the Independence in NWA. I actually went back in the clip and watched the clip on X of her entrance from Reality of Wrestling, and I could hear it in the background there. So that's definitely what she uses at the Indies as well. But thank you to Joey Els for giving us permission to use the song that she uses to promote that.
Yep.
All right, gentlemen, are you ready to resume the video?
I am.
209.54, hitting play in 3, 2, 1, play.
AJ Styles versus Mojo. Senior Joe.
Joe in those signature brown and black trunks, the phenomenal AJ Styles.
Baby AJ.
With no soccer mom haircut.
Nope.
Now that was the Midwest farmer hair, man. That's the same hair Randy Orton debuted with.
Mm-hmm.
True. Ron.
I actually used to have me a hooded jacket that I cut the sleeves off of so I could be the phenomenal JJ Styles.
Oh,
they were chanting Joe even then, man.
Hell yeah. Joe is a SoCal legend. Came from Ultimate Pro Wrestling, Ultimate University. The same school that Frankie Kazarian came through after he relocated to SoCal. The same school that Christopher Daniels taught at.
Yep, John Cena.
Joey Ryan and Scott Lost came through there. John Cena and The Miz came through there.
Wow, look how much slimmer Joe was.
Joe from Huntington Beach, California, legend at this time. Gone is the bleached blonde hair that he had when he feuded with Christopher Daniels in UPW, but still the same badass with about another 5 years experience under his belt.
Then he went to TNA. Look how long he was undefeated.
Mm-hmm. Tangling with the likes of Kurt Angle. One of the greatest matches in TNA history, Joe versus Styles versus Daniels.
Was that his head that just made that noise?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that was some crazy technical ability by both guys.
I was going to say, Joe gets undersold in his technical ability, man. Look at him there. There's a reason they called him the Samoan submission machine. There's a reason he was able to hang with an Olympic gold medalist. There's some of that right there that you just saw with the phenomenal AJ Styles.
I love all the technical shit Joe does, everything he does. But the funniest shit and the best thing is when he just walks away from the corner and you can't reach him. That shit is hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
since taught that.
That's his version. That's his version of James's nope.
Yeah,
right.
And, dude, that legitimately, like, he has taught that now to his proteges Hook and Shibata, even though Shibata is, I think, show's elder as well. So
look at the crowd clapping and shit.
Look at the air AJ got with that leapfrog drop kick.
Jesus. Yeah, that's a vintage style move by AJ right there. See them pull that off many a time.
Going for a scoop slam on Joe, but Joe too big, too strong. Executes it the second time, though.
The height he gets on this freaking drop kick. Oh.
Ooh,
nice jumping knee drop there.
Yeah, another vintage Styles maneuver there.
Only gets a 1 count from the referee.
Well, they weren't vintage at this point. They were brand new.
Yeah, I know, but
well, yeah, back here you would say signature style.
Signature. Yeah. I mean, you've seen that multiple times is the thing. Oh, great suplex countering the momentum of Joe. That was
AJ able to get the big man over there, showing that you need to not take AJ Styles lightly.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
There's a reason he is simply phenomenal.
Before Eminem made a song.
Irish whip to Joe. Nice tilt-a-whirl backbreaker there, but look at the damage AJ selling the knee there, the weight of Joe across his kneecap.
By the way, just to clarify, that the buckles almost came undone just by Joe bouncing off the ropes. That's how beefy he was.
It's a beefy boy.
Beefy
PWG
boy.
crowd chanting, "Let's go, Joe." Hearing the way this crowd is into Joe, I might have been one of the few guys that was behind AJ at this point because I wasn't as familiar with Joe.
Oh, really?
I knew a little bit of Joe from the UPW on KDOC TV show and the UPW DVDs that I purchased.
Well, there's the nope.
But I wasn't as familiar with Joe as I was with Styles at this point because I'd been watching AJ since 03.
Ooh, nice.
The 1 year TNA pay-per-view.
By the way, I love how he hit that tiaras. That was great. Great psychology. Again, shocking. Ooh, tried to go for a springboard. Oh, no!
Joe again said nope. Tripped him up, had AJ hit face first on the hardest part of the ring apron.
The way AJ hit his neck after that nope.
Mm-hmm. Yikes. There's a singular mat to protect both guys. Like one lowly yoga mat. Like that's gonna fucking do a goddamn
the old gym mats.
Yeah, like holy shit.
Like they peeled a mat off the wall and was like, here, let's just throw this down on the ground.
There you go. That'll do. That'll take care of everything.
Yeah, that'll do, pig. That'll do.
That'll do, big. That'll do.
Oof.
Oh, nice
chop. The way that echoed through the sweat box there.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
Yeah, shit.
Oof.
Oof. Ooh, God, there's that combination. Hi, Joe. There's his own rising knee drop or running knee drop.
Mm-hmm.
Right to the sternum before he would adopt the senton into that combo.
Mm-hmm.
And PWG, by the way, gentlemen, I meant to bring this up earlier, but I didn't think about it. But at this point, PWG was on WWE's radar. Sean Davari and Molly Holly both attended this show as fans and were spotted in the doorway just watching the action. I actually got a picture with Davari at this event, and I believe Jeff met Molly here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Like, I don't think you can actually see them in the doorway there, opposite the hard camera.
Oh, wow.
But they were there.
Bloody nose on AJ, by the way. AJ
already
got stepped up, by Samoa Joe.
Leg there, shades of the Karate Kid tripping AJ up.
Brilliant leg sweep. We've seen Joe do that many a times throughout his career.
Dude, it looked like he used his back to do it almost.
Ooh,
lion submission there.
Yeah, almost a half Boston Crab, but into a lion tamer of sorts.
But AJ right next to the ropes, easy to grab it. Referee counting for the rope break. Gets up to 4.5 before Joe releases.
You'll notice too, by the way, that Joe wanted him to get that rope because that means he could drive all of his knee right into that shoulder that he had to elevate just to get that damn rope break. So he applied even more pressure on that shoulder.
Sure did.
Irish whip there by Joe onto that injured shoulder. There's that rising knee strike. Shades of his arch nemesis Punk.
Yep, paintbrush in the face there with the boot. Drive-by boot there from Joe.
Vintage Samoa Joe yet again.
Joe, listen to that crowd.
About 300, 350 strong chanting for Joe. Again, I think I might have been one of the few that was on AJ's side.
It's funny because you mentioned how quiet the crowd was, but they woke up for this one.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's a SoCal legend versus the man who would become known as Mr. TNA.
Mm-hmm.
This is the match that I think everybody really wanted to see here tonight. This could have easily been the main event.
Oh! Ooh! Drive-by boot, and he sends him onto the outside on the hard basketball court.
Yep.
Yikes.
Joe following out to the outside here.
Ouch.
This might be where we get the spot, guys.
Oh my God, those hard martial arts kicks. Jesus Christ.
Maybe not threw AJ back in because that's the side that I'm on where you can kind of see the exit sign above the door.
Uh-huh.
That's the side I'm on, I think.
Okay.
Ooh, wow. You'll notice that Joe tried to go for a cover, tried to go for a lateral press. AJ kicked away before he could even make the pin cover.
Ooh, punch to the gut.
Yeah, straight jab right to the diaphragm, but there's no way you're out striking Joe because Joe just showed why his MMA training just came into play. God damn.
Rapid fire punches there by the Samoan submission machine. To your point.
One of the few Samoans not related to the Anoa'is.
Right?
Exactly. Oh my God, he just karate chopped his freaking forearm. Jesus Christ. Oh,
double stomp almost to the back of Styles there.
Yeah.
And that's a big boy coming crashing down.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you know when it comes crashing down, it's going to hurt inside.
And you will know that person actually showed up at WrestleMania 21 to help Eugene against Muhammad Hassan and Sean Davari, who's also in the show. Sorry, I had to segue everything.
Nice standing switch by AJ there. Joe running into the rope. Nice roll through. Going for the pinfall, but getting trapped there.
Right there.
AJ does have amateur wrestling background.
Kirafuda clutch here. I'm sorry, the Kokina clutch.
AJ getting to the ropes, able to get his foot on the bottom rope there, causing the rope break. You can see Joe getting a little frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
Even just said shit.
Damn, sure did. Jeez, I can't believe
no censoring here.
Mm-hmm.
His baby face is ridiculous.
20 years later, grizzled young veterans are both of these individuals.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Nice Irish whip into there. Ooh.
I'm sure at this time he didn't know he would be
over DDT, vintage AJ Styles.
There it is, right out of the corner that time.
Another move that AJ says that he hasn't done in a long time, doesn't think he can execute it anymore.
He might try at WrestleMania or something.
DDT. You know, if anyone can bring it out of him, I think Logan Paul could do it.
Yeah.
You know, I know maybe that's giving Logan Paul too much credit, James. I know how you feel about him, but with the athleticism that Paul shows in the ring, I think if anybody could help bring that out of AJ, it's him.
That's what I mean. He'll try to match him for that. And then, you know, at Mania is the time you bust up some old moves. Remember, Booker T did the Harlem Side?
Or maybe Logan Paul will try to do it to AJ as a way to kind of spit in his face and get some heel heat.
That's true.
Either way, both men kind of trading Irish whips right now from corner to corner. Went for the scorpion splash there, Shades of Steen, but Joe caught him with that big Uranagi. Now AJ pulling himself to the outside again. AJ right there. I think, okay, this might be it. Joe bouncing off the ropes. Dive through the ring ropes there.
Jesus Christ. He got hang time off that one, by the way. That was a great Uranagi, by the way. It might be Joe's best Uranagi I've ever seen. God damn.
I heard me.
Holy shit, I heard
me, though.
I heard you say holy shit, too.
Yeah.
You didn't move.
Nope.
God damn. Yeah, there you are. Right there. I'm seeing JJ. I'm seeing young JJ right here.
Right side or left side? Oh, yeah,
left,
I see him. I see him.
He's right there. He's right there in the dead center. He took a picture. I see him with a freaking DSLR camera.
Uh-huh.
Hey, it was the technology 20 years ago. Leave me alone.
I know. I was just saying. I'm pointing it out.
Look at my man, JJ.
Okay, JJ. Just wait, dude. If we do Jason Takes PWG next month as a retro, I am all up in that main event. 60-minute time limit draw between Daniels and Styles.
Jason Voorhees actually showed up at that event, right? Somebody played as him?
No.
Aww.
That was the whole marketing because it was actually on Friday the 13th. So they did Jason Takes PWG.
See, this is where they needed Aaron Rift because Aaron Rift would have had him show up and hit the Crystal Lake Slam.
Right?
I was just saying.
Crystal Lake
Slam. Joe with AJ up on the shoulders there. Set up for the Death Valley driver. AJ able to counter.
Oh, Jesus Christ. He slapped the taste out of him.
Oh, no! Forearm, but AJ slipped. First botch of the night.
First real botch, yeah.
Joe kind of tweaked his knee there, but AJ capitalizing on it, taking advantage of the prone Samoa Joe.
By the way, I think
big man down, take it to your advantage.
By the way, that inadvertent slip up, I think KJ actually fucking smashed on his kneecap. Like legitimately hit his kneecap bad.
You got to think about it. We're 8 matches in. You know how slippery those ropes are right now?
Yeah, that's true.
Hot, sweaty, those lights. Again, this is called a sweat box for a reason. Think about how sweaty the men are in this match and in the whole evening.
Big sweaty men slapping me.
8 men, 8 matches deep.
Fucking spinning wheel kick. Dude, AJ cleaned Joe's clock. I think that might have been him potatoing him. God damn.
Dude, this is so much fun. I'm so glad we did this.
It's a great match, by the way. Phenomenal match so far between these two. I'm almost wondering if this is like legitimately the first match between these two because they seem like they have amazing chemistry. Great scoop slam.
Very Orton-esque with that scooping power slam. And then the running senton from Joe goes for the pinfall. AJ kicks out.
Yeah, I don't think the ref should have even made that call, by the way. That's a botch on his part because AJ clearly had his shoulder up out of that lateral press. Joe didn't get the full lateral there. Nonetheless, still a 2 count. AJ was able to kick out brilliantly.
Joe's
showing a lot of heart.
Joe's got to be thinking, what the hell do I do to put this man away?
Nice
spinning
dodge.
Forearm there, spinning clothesline from Styles, drops Joe to the mat, hooks the leg, gets
good
a 2
luck.
count.
I was about to say, yeah.
Nice discus clothesline.
That was a great discus, but yeah, good luck on that one, Styles, for sure. He would adopt that into his combination move we would see right before the Pele kick. Signature now of Styles where he hits that discus lariat, trying to go for it again. Joe able to counter him. Oh, nice sunset.
Rolling Joe through. Looks like he's trying to set up the Styles clash. Joe's still too strong. Counters out of it. Clothesline turns AJ inside out.
Damn.
Again, referee fuck up. AJ's right shoulder, left shoulder wasn't even down.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't.
So AJ had to make sure he kicked out with the right shoulder so that the ref could see it there.
Mm-hmm. Powerbomb.
Powerbomb gets a 2 count, turns it into
Oh,
STF.
Jesus, man. Yeah, Samoa Joe.
This is awesome.
Phenomenal wrestling here, folks.
Now turns it into a crippler crossface.
Yep.
Of course it's phenomenal. Look who's involved.
Again, these guys kind of the heartbeat of the X division.
Yep.
Just a few months later.
Tell me about it.
They would go on to main event Unbreakable, TNA Unbreakable not too long after this, along with Christopher Daniels, the X Division champion at the time.
These two literally brought the best out of one another.
Yep.
Add Daniels into that mix, man. All three of them brought out the best of each other. Joe and Daniels obviously having the storied history going back to UPW. That was one of the things that I really was interested in when Joe finally made it to TNA, was seeing him get to execute and play out some of that history on television.
Look at this toying here. Joe toying with his food and AJ here almost. Trying to go for another. Pele. There's the Pele.
Joe rocked.
Yeah, he tried to go for that lariat again, trying to take the head off of AJ.
That's one move he still hits now, that Pele.
Yep. Uh-oh. Got him up into the fireman's carry.
Torture rack.
Into a torture rack bomb. We've seen him do that.
Again, not a 3 count.
Not a 3 count. It was a torture rack bomb.
No version. No torture rack bomb. No blue thunder bomb. Nothing.
I'm just saying.
Come on, Noah. Even the phenomenal one couldn't do it. I get it with Samoa Joe, but come on.
You know,
I guess we're gonna have to try. Somebody's gonna have to try a red thunder bomb.
Red. Well,
or a red lightning bomb.
And now, if No DQ ever comes in and they have the Matrix team, I'm gonna make sure that the black guy that gave Neon the blue pill or the red pill, that's gonna be the red thunder bomb for that black guy. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think it's Morpheus, right? Yeah, Morpheus will have the red thunder bomb. Thank you.
They should have Effie start doing it, and GCW could call it the Rainbow Thunder Bomb.
Nice.
Yeah. Eventually, somebody's got to make it their finisher and get some wins out of it.
Great freaking striking exchange between both guys, by the way. God damn.
You got to give it to a 7-footer to make it actually start winning.
I just saw JJ yell, by the way, in the goatee. He's like, come on, AJ! Unreal.
2005, where the hell was I? Oof.
AJ climbing to the outside. He's thinking spiral tap here.
Oh, geez,
I was working at Hollywood Video then.
Oh, tried to cut it off at the pass, but Joe getting kicked in the head. Oh, boy.
AJ once again climbing to the top rope here. Joe back to his feet again, chopping the legs out from underneath. Styles going
no.
Muscle buster.
Oh, God. Here it comes.
As Jordan Grace calls it, a taste of Samoa.
Oh,
like Samoa?
Through.
Wow.
Hooks him up. Styles Clash
connect.
That was a nice way to turn that into that.
Wow.
That was
the winner
awesome.
of the match and the #1 contender for the title on night 2, AJ Styles. And here is our main event.
Dude, that was an awesome way to turn that into the Styles guy.
Wow, that was fantastic. Yeah,
the champion, the current reigning and defending PWG champion, Super Dragon, taking on Kevin Steen and El Generico. Look at Baby Steen.
So
before Generico went to the Mexican orphanage.
Yep. There's El Generico. There's the one and only Sami Zayn, everybody. The generic luchador.
Yeah, so I have to ask you. This is not the same show where Super Dragon was cheered way too much by that one fan, right?
No, I don't think so.
All right, good. Damn, Kevin Steen.
Super Dragon's another one, man. I always kind of wanted that mask. The dude underneath Super Dragon was always a bit of a dick, but that's a badass mask.
He was a dick,
Considering
really?
my history with Gorilla, like I would love to have one of those masks.
Yeah, he looked like a fucking. He looked like he was full of himself. Look at this.
I didn't know he was a
Well,
dick.
he was one of the PWG 6, so it comes with the whole booking yourself as the champion.
Yeah. No wonder.
I mean, when you look at the names that were in PWG at the time, as far as the local homegrown talent, Super Dragon was probably the biggest star at the time.
Well, here we go. Super Dragon, the champion. El Generico and Kevin Steen, the challengers. Rick Knox, the referee.
Look how much smaller Kevin Steen was. Damn.
Bill Salzen, here we go.
El Generico.
Kevin Steen was smaller, and El Generico had less facial hair.
Yeah,
right.
True that. This is back when Generico was acting like a black
Steen
guy.
walking right up to Super Dragon, nose to nose, like, you do not intimidate me, motherfucker. Generico trying to get some separation, both men pushing him off. Look at Generico trying to be the big man here. God, I love Generico. Both men pushing him away again. Again, Generico walks in. This time pushes them both off. Gives us an Olay. Steen with a kick to the midsection and throws Generico out the ring. Now we got Steen and Super Dragon just throwing forearms.
For the record, by the way, like that was straight out of the playbook of The Rock, Undertaker, and Kurt Angle. Arguably one of the better triple threat matches of the modern era at that point.
Is this back when the history making luchador was just El Chiquito Americano?
Oh, what a freaking spinning heel kick by Steen, bro. Hey, he got that from Owen Hart.
He was taking notes. He was a pequeño Americano.
Pop up into a drop kick there from Generico. Nice kip up. Ducks the clothesline. Back elbow from Generico onto Steen. Standing moonsault connects. Lateral press. Gets a 2 count. Super Dragon breaks it up.
Damn, that was right in the back of his head.
El Generico, the innovator of the Judas effect. Ole! Sorry.
And again, Generico thrown to the outside so that Super Dragon and Steen could go toe-to-toe here.
Try to go for it.
Steen looking for the package pile driver early.
Yeah, it looks like Super Dragon was trying to go for the Olympic slam, got counted into a snap there. Nice knee strike right to the back of the head. Super Dragon with a full head of steam and a knee strike right to the face to follow up. Lateral press, there's 2. Generico in there to break it up.
Gee, I wonder what happened to him doing that package power drive, huh?
Generico with the short jabs to Super Dragon. Irish whip sends him into the other corner.
Uh-oh. Gonna go for the haluva kick. Ooh, got countered right away. Got pushed away by Super Dragon. Tried to go for a
Dragon had it scouted.
Ooh.
Nice up and overhead scissor takedown from Super Dragon.
Ooh, nice.
Generico with a lucha arm drag.
Into a calf kick.
I can't believe this.
Now Kevin Steen coming from behind, attacking his longtime frenemy, El Generico.
God damn, I feel so old watching this, and I wasn't even watching it here.
Was Kevin did he have a knee injury? You guys see a knee?
Yeah, he had a. Yeah, this was right after his first knee injury. I remember it too, because he got like super injured bad, so he needed a knee brace to kind of support it.
Nice gut wrench by Steen.
Ooh.
Generico has the hand there, going for the run to the top rope into a spinning DDT. Steen turns it into a backbreaker.
Oh no! His own momentum hurt him.
Baseball slide takes out Super Dragon, leaving it Steen and Generico on the inside. 2 count from Steen.
Already showing IQ of a veteran right there by Steen. Trying to
He
take
was
down
Mr. Wrestling back here. That was his nickname.
Yeah, I mean he's definitely showing
prize
his
fighter.
Yeah, showing his IQ right here, big time. Sting had a point to prove back then, man. Absolutely.
Oof.
Oh,
The top drops Generico to the mat.
God,
damn.
Loud. Hey, I think I know where Gunther tried to get his chop game from.
Notice the Hatchet Man there on Steen's boots, reference
Yep.
to ICP and the Juggalo Army.
Yeah, he was definitely a part of ICW around that time. I believe that's where he got his break in America, was with the ICW guys. Insane Championship Wrestling.
Insane in the membrane.
Insane in the brain.
JCW, sorry. Insane.
Yeah, Juggalo Championship Wrestling.
Championship, yes. That's actually what it was called, folks. We're not making that up.
Trust me, I've never been an ICP guy, but I know enough about them to know what the company was called. Nice stomp there to the back of Generico. And again, think about the size differential between Steen and Generico. And now the stomp from Super Dragon to Steen on top of Generico's chest.
Well,
Super Dragon and Steen about the same size there.
And Super Dragon and Kevin Steen are looking at Generico like, Goomba, fuck you.
All right.
Mm-hmm. I believe at this point, Super Dragon was competing in CZW and ROH and IWA Mid-South. Again, that's why I say, like, out of all the local talent, he was the biggest star out of everybody.
Tried to go for a baseball slide, got countered by Super Dragon. Great pinning combination. Great roll through, though, by Generico. Oh, God, got caught, though. Lotus lock by Super Dragon.
Using the leg strength there that he has on his frame, added with the body weight.
Almost
Super Dragon's another one, man. The injuries just took a toll on him, and he wasn't able to wrestle anymore. Whether he was a good guy or a bad guy, IRL, you hate to see injuries hinder a career of someone that gifted.
Yeah,
that's that style too, man. It's just injuries. Huh?
Well, I mean, maybe if he didn't. Maybe that's karma. Maybe if he wasn't such a fucking dick to, the kid who was saying Super Dragon, he was your biggest fan, man. You had to be a dick. Come on, man.
Just saying that lucha libre style. Just look how many times Rey has had surgery on his knees. You're just prone to it.
I had surgery 5 times in my left knee.
The chops to Generico's chest from someone as heavy-handed as Super Dragon and someone as pale as Generico.
Yep.
Tilt-a-whirl backbreaker from Super Dragon.
That'll leave a red mark.
Steen with a double stomp to the back of Dragon now, giving him a receipt there.
Ooh, Steen talking snap, too.
Jesus Christ. Raining down punches, Steen.
Kicked his ass out of the ring, leaving just him and El Generico.
Mm-hmm. And Steen there taking a drink of water.
Ah, no.
Spitting it on Generico.
Oh, no. Why did he point at his ding-a-ling?
He was a dick even back then.
Damn. Mr. Wrestling showing why he earned that nickname. Ooh, got kicked right in the shoulder blade, though.
Nice pick up Inseguri by Steen.
I don't know why I thought you said Sting for a second instead of Steen. I was like, huh?
Steen.
The tandem known as Steen Erico.
Haha. They are fighting. They are not a tandem. They be fighting. Uh-oh.
Damn, no beard, no nothing on Steen. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Again, baby-faced.
Mm-hmm.
Big time wrestles. Oh, nice knife edge.
Generico making a comeback.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
doesn't have the same effect when a guy has a T-shirt on, though.
Yeah, I was about to say because he's. Oh no, Sting suplex.
Brainbuster. I think that's Brainbuster.
Yep.
Kevin Steen lifting Generico up to the top rope there, top turnbuckle.
Uh-oh.
Jaw-jacking the crowd.
I was about to say, is he jaw-jacking you, JJ?
He said something about his talent. I didn't hear exactly what he said.
I didn't know any of these guys at this point. You got to keep in mind, this was the first time seeing any of them.
Dude, that's so crazy.
The only people I knew at this point were the guys on TNA television and Samoa Joe. Like, I didn't even know who Bryan Danielson was at this point.
Great.
This was my debut, my first time seeing Bryan Danielson.
Woo, what a chop.
To think these guys would be in the main event of WrestleMania, these two.
Winning tag team titles.
Yep.
With the logo of the Pro Wrestling Guerrilla on their tights.
Yep.
And then
giving shouts out to Super Dragon in the post-show press conference for giving them their big break.
And then main eventing with Stone Cold. Like, who would have thought that?
Yeah, right.
Generico running up the top rope there, turns into the tornado DDT.
Vintage El Generico
there.
Yep.
This is making me so want Generico versus Americano so bad now.
Yeah. Super Dragon and Kevin Steen fighting on the outside here.
I mean, we already get the El Generico versus El Canadian. Let's go to El Americano now.
Right. Ole!
Oh no! Gonna pull a Christian Cage! Oh no!
Course corrected himself. Top rope moonsault takes down Steen and Super Dragon on the outside of the ring.
Ole! On the gym floor, no less.
Yeah, he did.
An unpadded gym floor.
Yes. Ole, 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 ole.
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 Well, that kind of stuck with him, huh?
It sure did. Sure did.
Well, that was his theme song.
Well, no, I mean, it was the
Bouncing Souls Ole was El Generico's theme song.
It was. It was.
So that's why it's always followed him, because that was his theme song. So fans still chanted knowing who it is. Huge splash off the top onto Steen. Hooks the leg. Gets a 2 count.
Very generic splash.
Very generic. That is one pale mother sucker.
That is about as white of a white boy as you can get.
Right?
And people want to say El Grande Americano is not good. Split-legged moonsault into the knees. Super Dragon coming up top. Drop kick senton combination. Hooks the leg of Steen. Gets a 2.5.
I'm noticing the Super Dragon rocks Adidas.
Does he? I didn't notice.
Yeah, I just saw it.
Super Dragon going for the original
curb stomp.
Ow!
Oh no!
Everyone thinks what Seth Rollins does is a curb stomp. That is the original curb stomp right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Surprised nobody uses that one.
Which, by the way, would then be later adopted by Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, this version, as well as the other version, current version. She's got
Super Dragon calling for it again.
Well, of course she uses that stomp because she wants to knock your teeth out to make money off of you after, because she has to fix it.
Exactly. Making money and double the profession.
Right?
I'll kick your ass and fix your teeth after.
Gets only a 2 count off of the curb stomp.
Now, the funniest thing is, though, she should have had a doctor's license too, because then, if she had a doctor's license, it's like, I'll kick your teeth down your throat, then I'll reach into your ass, take the teeth that I shoved down your gullet, and then put them back in your mouth.
Ew, that's a shitty situation.
Kevin Steen trying to trip up Super Dragon. Generico going to the top rope, looking for his brain buster.
Yeah, the sonic screwdriver brain buster. There it is. Oh shit!
Generico can't get to the pinfall.
That was horrific. That brain buster. That was brutal.
Finally gets the pin attempt. Hooks the leg. Steen comes in to break it up.
And now look at this. He's going to take full advantage. Going to try to go for it. Sting. Oh, Generico breaks it up. Brilliant psychology again, by the way, because that's old. That's really good psychology out of a move like that. By the way, that move was one of those moves that actually won Sami Zayn the Intercontinental Championship from Gunther. So that has a lot of history there. Uh-oh. Catatonic into the white noise by Kevin Steen. Hook to the outside leg and a kick out by Generico.
Dragging Generico to the corner. Steen up top looking for a moonsault here.
Looks like it.
Connects. Beautifully executed.
Yeah, it is.
Gets a 2.5 from Rick Knox.
Very, very good matchup so far, man. Look at all this talent in the last 2 matches, by the way. All of them have a huge spot in pro wrestling nowadays.
All the talent. All the talent.
Well,
the talent.
Except
Super Dragon. But Super Dragon, you can even give credit to having in wrestling today because of being a talent scout and booking these guys.
Yeah, true. Very true.
Like, you got to give the devil his due here.
I always wonder why they never had. You know what? Honestly, they got freaking Delirious now in TNA. I don't know why they never signed Super Dragon for that. Because
again, it could just come down to personal attitude, with what has been said about Super Dragon and the man behind the character.
Well, I mean, there you go. You got good cop and Delirious, bad cop and Super Dragon. It works. Make it happen. There you go.
Steen calling for it, goes in with the Yakuza kick.
Ooh.
One of Generico's signature maneuvers there.
Yeah.
Now known as the Haluva, back then the Yakuza kick.
Yep, he got it fully in there. By the way, MVP would later adopt that as the playmaker boot.
Yep.
Innovative.
Looks like he's going to go for it again here.
Uh-oh.
Again, if anyone knows this maneuver, it's Kevin Steen, longtime best friend of El Generico.
Oh, God.
Goes in, Yakuza kick of his own.
Oh, my God. He kicked the shit out of him into the exploder. Suplex. Oh, my God.
Butterfly
into a tiger suplex.
2.5 from Generico to Steen.
That was huge. What a combination of moves there. And finally, I do see Super Dragon stirring on the apron here. I don't think Generico realizes it. Generico now going to try to pick up Kevin Steen here. The two Canadians duking it out.
So to speak.
Yeah, exactly.
He feels like Super Dragon is out.
Oh, nice. Oh, nice counter.
Package pile driver connects.
Got all of it. Holy shit.
Super Dragon in at the last second, breaking up the pin attempt off the package pile driver.
Finally getting his bearings back, even if it's just a little bit after that brainbuster from the top by El Generico earlier on. All 3 men exhausted here, absolutely at their wits' end here, trying to find some opening to win the title here.
Kevin Steen to a vertical base first. Going for a package pile driver on Super Dragon, it looks like.
Yeah, dropping a knee.
Counters.
Yeah, brilliant by Super Dragon. And a hell of a clothesline.
Turning Steen inside out. Now turning his focus onto El Generico, it looks like. Well, maybe not.
Oh! God damn, somersault through the turnbuckles, and he just took out Kevin Steen. He might have wiped him out for the rest of the match here.
Super Dragon going to the top rope.
Double stomp. Got all of it. That was a Kevin Sullivan-like double stomp also. And there's that Lariato! Gonna go for the Dragon Driver! Got all of it! Holy shit, did he spike Generico? It is game, set, match.
Steen tried to break it up, but was just too late.
Wow, man.
The winner of the match and still your PWG champion, Super Dragon.
What?
Jeez, I wonder who booked that.
It was a great finish, by the way. The Burning Hammer Driver. Never seen it done like that.
Who's this?
AJ Styles, the number one contender.
All right.
Remember, AJ's going to face Super Dragon now tomorrow night.
Lord, he looks so much bigger with the way the camera was.
I was about to say.
Couldn't really hear what AJ said, but you could pretty much figure he's saying, "Keep it warm for me. I'm coming for this."
I believe he would go on to win it, by the way.
Let's not give away spoilers,
That's,
James. We're going to be watching this again.
Oh, I thought it was later. All right.
And that's it. Now we're getting the little post-show interviews. We can cut it at this point if we want.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Because the matches are over.
I feel like we timed
But
it perfectly.
Bonus features, post-match interviews and whatnot.
We timed it perfectly like a real pay-per-view. Look what that is.
All right.
Right? So, show is officially over. Your first PWG full show experience is in the books. I'm going to start with you, Walter. What'd you think?
Fucking awesome, man. Like I said, it takes me back to days of taking bumps and stuff. And it's so great to go back in time and knowing what these people would become. And it's just awesome to see where they started and see the beginning of the journey and just be like, dude, I was there. For you to say that, it's freaking awesome. Like, and kudos. I look forward to doing more of these. This was awesome. Like, literally. And
I'm with Walter. This was phenomenal.
Again, unfortunately, PWG full length is not something that really exists online.
Yeah.
So we're definitely going to have to pick and choose what we do, what we don't do. But I do have tomorrow, night 2 of this. I did find Jason Takes PWG in its entirety, which would be the following month.
Yeah.
Friday, May 13th, which will be a Tuesday for us here this year. Tuesday, May 13th. So we can do that one. And then from there, it's sporadic at best. I did find a guy that has some of the shows that furthers this feud that we had earlier with Scorpio Sky and Scott Lost.
Yeah.
But he only has certain matches post. I've messaged him asking if there's any way he can upload the full shows, waiting to see if it happens. As of right now, he hasn't. And the matches he's uploaded from the shows are the ones with the big names from those shows. So it's Scorpio Sky versus Scott Lost is a nothing thing in the grand scheme of things, unfortunately. But I hope he uploads those couple of other shows so that you can really see how the feud progressed from this point to the end of the year.
Yeah, man, I can't wait. It's just fun to be able to get in the time capsule and go back.
Wrestling was a different thing then. Like we touched on at the outset, Eddie Guerrero was still alive. Chris Benoit hadn't gone mental yet and done what he did. Hulk Hogan was going into the Hall of Fame the next night.
Yeah.
And wasn't a social pariah getting booed out of the building like he is these days. You know, TNA hadn't even hit its 3rd year yet as a company.
Stone Cold just retired only for 2 years, I think.
Yeah,
because I think he retired in 2003. Yeah.
Yep.
Was barely retired for 2 years because WrestleMania 19 was his last match. And then here he would be on this show at WrestleMania 21 when they did Austin on Carlitos Cabana, Piper's Pit, that whole thing. But to your point, it's fun sometimes to go back and relive this shit and look at how things changed. Look at how the business has changed. Look at where these people are today. Again, Kevin Owens, is going to be fighting Randy Orton at WrestleMania this year, 20 years later.
Yep.
El Generico, Sami Zayn, we still don't know what's going to happen for him as far as WrestleMania. AJ Styles is facing Logan Paul at WrestleMania 20 years later. Christopher Daniels just retired. Samoa Joe is in the ops in AEW. Frankie Kazarian has the Call Your Shot Gauntlet Trophy, could very easily become world champion later this month. All signs point to him cashing in when they come to LA.
Yeah.
The SCU becoming champion in SoCal.
So crazy, man.
Motor City Machine Guns.
Yeah, the Motor City Machine Guns are now on Friday Night SmackDown.
Yeah.
Heating up the tag division still 18 years after they formed. It's just crazy to think about. Again, Bryan Danielson retired in October of last year. Petey Williams and Jamie Noble are agents in the WWE. And then again, some of these guys had to retire due to injuries. Some of them have gone on to have prosperous careers outside. Like I said, Scott Lost does comic book artwork and graphic novels. Some of these guys made names for a while, like Joey Ryan, and then shit happened. But you want to talk about successful? I mean, you look at what Joey Ryan was looking like here, and then think about the level he was before shit came crashing down for him.
Yep.
He was arguably on that Matt Cardona level of making a living traveling the indies. Former NWA World Tag Team Champion with Carl Anderson. Yeah. Gee, where did Carl Anderson end up? Bullet Club, WWE, TNA, possibly going to AEW.
Fake King.
Like these guys had an eye for the business.
Yeah, they did.
And the business is better for PWG's existence, I think. It's just too bad that first COVID happened, and then the man behind Super Dragon, and I don't know the whole story, but I believe something happened with his wife, with his girlfriend. She got very, very sick. I believe, if I remember what I read correctly, and I'm not 100% accurate, but I believe I read that she got very sick and basically had to put off booking and running PWG shows to take care of her. So,
yikes.
Again, regardless of what you may think of the man behind the mask, at least noble enough there to do what was right. Priorities over passions, as Noah always says.
Yep.
And to Safet's point, Candice LeRae, huge product of SoCal and PWG on our televisions, married to Johnny Gargano. I wasn't gonna for once I wasn't gonna refer to her the way that he did in that post, but again, people know how I feel about her and why I feel the way I do. But I'm trying to look at the positivity here and not the negativity.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the names that have been PWG champion. Walter is a former PWG champion. That kind of says everything you need to say right there. The man who's walking into WrestleMania defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Yeet is a former PWG champion. Daniel Garcia is still the PWG champion. And because of the connection with the Bucks and AEW, the Jericho Appreciation Society appeared at a PWG show in full.
Mm-hmm.
When WrestleMania was out here 2 years ago. That's big. Wow. Chris Jericho was on a PWG card.
That's crazy to think.
Again, say what you will about Jericho and the Jericho Vortex and the shape he's allowed himself to get in and the learning tree shtick, but Chris Jericho, a 34, 35, 36-year veteran of the business, was at PWG. That's crazy to think about. And I'm looking forward to going back and doing this again tomorrow because I've seen night 2 less than I've seen night 1 because obviously I was at night 1. I bought both DVDs. I owned both of them. I think I still own both of them in one of these boxes over here. But I've watched night 2 less because I wasn't there. So going back and revisiting all of that is going to be so much fun tomorrow because I kind of have the same fresh eyes as you guys do.
That's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Hey, you'll
And again, if you guys out there enjoy this and you want to see us do Jason Takes PWG, like the video, share the video, post in the comments that y'all want to see it. Let us know if you guys want us to keep bringing this retro content to you guys, because we'll do it. I love revisiting this shit and exposing people to it that have never seen it before.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, main event of Jason Takes PWG is Christopher Daniels versus AJ Styles in what goes to a 60-minute time limit draw. So just think about that for a minute. Those two men for 60 minutes in that sweatbox gymnasium.
That'll lose a few pounds.
Not even in their prime yet. Scratching the surface of their prime.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. James, your final thoughts on the show. We got Walters.
Yeah, man, fantastic. Like everything I said before, show was excellent. Honestly, if you're going to be marks for PWG and AEW really likes that indie-rific style, I highly recommend that people need to take notes on this specific show. There was psychology and everything. Everything made sense. There was great high spots, and it flowed with the match and the story they were telling. Quite honestly, WWE should take a fucking page out of this playbook too. It's not just relegated to AEW. WWE should fucking look back at this show and see where they're lacking in the in-ring department.
The industry as a whole should.
Yeah, seriously. Like I'm not even joking when I say that. Like, look at what we're doing in 2005 at an indie show. Apply that to a WWE Mania. Apply that to All In Texas this year. Because that's what we should be doing. This is a show that you look back on and study. Seriously. I'm not even saying that to be funny. Like, this show opened my eyes to a lot. And, you know, who the fuck knew that a sweatbox could produce such great, fantastic, logical wrestling? Like, I know DJ is heavy old school. I'd show him this show. I know Ryan really loves indie-rific style stuff. I'd show him this show.
There you go.
So I can't wait to see what night 2 offers, man. Like, I love this show a lot.
Well, one thing we know for sure is night 2 is going to give us Super Dragon versus AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels versus Chris Hero.
Yep.
Both matches guaranteed to be bangers, plus the whole rest of the card.
Yep.
And we'll be right here for it.
Same bat time, same bat channel, except I should actually be here right when we start tomorrow.
Yay!
Go to Key Review tomorrow night.
There you go. All right, folks. I am tired. That was a lot.
I'm tired too. Shout out to Mick Foley. Like, I hope he's doing well. I thought that was an April Fool's prank. Like, apparently, it's true about his car accident. So I hope you're all right.
Again, like we haven't hyped it enough, make sure you guys are there this Friday, April 4th, 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific, as we do a special Friday shenanigans, welcoming La Princesa, Tiffany Nieves. Looking forward to it. I think that's what I'm going to be doing here tonight now. After I finish eating, is I'm going to be going back through some of her old interviews and taking notes.
Yes.
As you see Walter bowing down to La Princesa.
This peasant bows.
I'm scared. I'm sorry I rooted against you in favor of Natalia. I'm sorry.
You should have seen we were doing a watch along, and I went, I'm going to sit behave today.
I was about to say.
Make sure you join us tomorrow on the Spaces as Walter hosts his Simple Spaces. I will be there. James probably will not be there, but he will be back here tomorrow night for night 2 of PWG All-Star Weekend 1. James, tell them where they can find you, though.
Yes. Hello. Speaking of Natalia, you guys can find me on the YouTube and Twitter at jhebertside95, Instagram too, but I'm barely on there much, and on Facebook at James Heban Hebert. I do be current of things on the internet. Oh yeah, there you go. Spaces tomorrow. Oh my God. Hello,
Walter.
Jesus.
Spaces. Yeah.
Well, I'll be on Walter Space, so there you go.
Oh, all right. Speaking of spaces, on X, you can follow me at Walter Alex Cruz, which would have the space there. The Instagram at walter.cruz.940, and of course the bread and butter of this whole thing, the YouTube channel at Rage of Wrestling. Please subscribe.
Subscribeth.
Subscribe before I get Vito and the rest of the family after you, and make you sleep with those fishes that throw you over that boat with some cement shoes on.
Sleeping with the fishes.
And then last but not least, you can find me on Instagram at the Renegade JJ Williams, on X at ROWJJ Williams and Casa D18 Studio, and on YouTube at Casa D18 Studios.
Is that Tiffany Nieves or who?
No, that's Cora Jade.
Of course it is. Okay, so all the butts.
Casa D18 Studio is the X account where you can find me doing the spaces every Tuesday and Thursday. So make sure you follow that one if you want to listen to us and our weekday shenanigans.
Amen. There you go. Well, never mind about Walter not getting in trouble. Yeah, he got in trouble. Maybe she's.
Oh, I think he means because JJ's got one of those now.
Oh, yeah, true. There you go.
No,
I love that you assumed, James, but I would not do that to her. No.
My wife actually saw that graphic the other day. She was like, I kind of want to walk up and just smack her ass one time.
Right?
Oh, my Lord.
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to watching NXT back tomorrow when it comes onto the CW app, since we've been on the air since 8 o'clock, and Spectrum, I can't DVR it, so
yes,
I'm missing. I know a little bit of what's going down tonight, but I'm looking forward to watching it play out.
Yeah, I'm in a hotel. I could have watched it, but I'd rather do this stuff. I didn't even think about it. I forgot about NXT 2. You just said that.
But thank you to everybody for joining us, for watching along. We will see you guys tomorrow again, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific, for night 2 of PWG All-Star Weekend. Once again, the link for it will be in the description if you guys want to watch along with us.
Mm-hmm.
For the He-Man James Hebert, for Mr. Reliable, I am the Renegade of Wrestling JJ Williams. Thank you all for watching. We will catch you guys next time.
Subscribe.